Hi, buddy. Yes. Oh, you sweet little thing, yes. Hmm? Hmm. Oh, so coffee looks so cute. What? What's up, baby? Oh, you stretch. Oh my god. Why do you stretch so much every time I do this? My goodness, bro. Look at you. Oh. Oh, you look happy. Oh, you're such a good boy. Yes. Oh, you just love the scritches and the ribbons. Ugh. Oh, you sweet boy. Real, what's going on here? My friend's like, what the fuck did the meme I sent? Damn, I love it. Oh. You goofy boy, what are you doing? Okay. So wait.
Hey everybody!
Whoa! Well, Sweet Baby Ray's, why isn't this on? So what happened to the fighting boys?
Unfortunately, we had a stream scheduled for tonight at 9:30. TJ suddenly shit his britches, or I'm sorry.
Shit his britches, yeah, TJ's known for doing that.
No stream tonight. We just bumped it to tomorrow night, same time, 9:30. Hopefully you don't shit his britches again, and
shit his britches.
I have an outage again. No, so hopefully we have a successful
TJ
show.
is shitting britches. TJ is shitting the britches. Day and night. Day and night. Oh. Day and night. Day and night. TJ be shitting them britches every day. TJ be shitting them britches every day.
Chill.
Sukov, get over here.
You bum.
Sukov.
Big bum.
Sukov. Hey, quit getting in his way. Get over here. Come on. Come on, bro.
Nip in the crotch.
Come here.
I
Come.
need a shower and you definitely don't want to sniff my crotch.
Fuck. Stop it. Get over here. Get over here. No. No. Jeez, bro.
Yeah, 30 seconds later, you would have seen something you didn't want to see walking in my room.
Okay, do you mind?
That would be me naked.
No one needs to know that. Do you mind? Oh my god, you need a brushing.
No, I just said you left that out.
No, I didn't. What did I do with this fucking brush? I had it over here the other day. What the fuck? Where'd it go? Zuko, oh, there it is. Come here, Zuko. Come here. Come here, bro. I'm giving you a brush. You need it really quick. Come here. Come on. There you go. Yeah. Oh my god.
I don't even want to see me naked.
Do you, like, can you not? Zuko, come here. No, hey, get over here. Get over here. Come on. Come on, up. Oh, fuck, dude. There you go. That's what I want to do. I want to try to get you brushed out. Get all this knots and stuff off of you. Oh my god. You did this. It's kind of being held over last night. I kept giving me a recommendation for your stream at like 3 a.m. It was just still image of a loading sign. Oh, I accidentally forgot to click the check mark to say end the broadcast, you know, when I ended it. So for some reason it just kind of kept it going on for a while. Until I realized that I was actually like done streaming. But no, it's actually kind of a little bit more on my end. Alright, come here, buddy. Come on, one more time. Up here. Up here. Come on. Up. Up here. Yes, come on. Come on. Yeah. Man, dude. Careful, dude. Careful. There we go. Yeah. Let's get all this thickness and all these knots out of you. My goodness. Oh my goodness, bro. Ooh. My goodness. There we go. Now you're looking a lot better. Oh my god, but this isn't. This is nowhere near better. What the oh my god, dude. You are just horrible about this. You are the worst. You shed monster, you. God, you fucking shed monster. Oh my god, okay, there we go. You know what, I think you're good enough. Florida's gonna go more fascist. They're trying to ban protests in front of homes. Well, they'll probably have another thing coming at that point. I mean, it's just like the fucking GOP are basically essentially just embracing further and further into the fucking ideological parasitical grasp that is fascism, and it's just getting to the rate where it needs to just get stopped by any means necessary. So if they want to try to ban that, then just go twice as hard on protesting then. Every time they fucking try to crack you down and shit, then just go back harder. Like, just fuck these goddamn parasites. Like, they, you know, there's only going to be not enough, there's going to be a point where there's not going to be enough laws for them to try to push and force, you know, to try to actually get that shit done. And actually try to keep that to heal. You see what happened in Sri Lanka? There were, like, people are, like, it's so impoverished and so bad there when it comes to standard of living and, like, affordability for housing there and shit. People are basically just, you know, getting together and just straight up, like, finding these rich-ass bourgeois elitists in their fucking cars and just straight up beating the shit out of them, destroying these cars and fucking throwing the cars into the rivers and shit. Like, basically just full-on, you know, destruction of the rich owner class's property as they fucking live in luxury and opulence, and pretty much everyone else in Sri Lanka has to suffer and starve. So thus, you know, as a result, their Bentleys and their Lambos and all and their fucking, you know, Mercedes Benzes all get fucking tossed in the rivers and into the sea. So, pretty sure Floridians embrace poverty and low standard of living. That place becoming such a shithole, not even a peep. Yeah, well, it's mainly because they've just been educated, well, I guess, lack thereof of education to the point of embracing those type of ideas. But they're going to come to realize that, like, hey, I still need food on my plate. I still need, you know, money, you know, for rent and all that type of shit. But, you know, eventually it's going to be a point where a lot of these type of people, you know, are going to realize, you know, hey, is our government actually going to, like, you know, be out there to reach for us? And we realize that the people they keep supporting don't do that. It doesn't, you know, they can sell all the fucking scapegoating and all that type of shit as much as they want. You know, it ain't going to sell that much anymore. But at the same time, there's too many people that are fucking, you know, gullible enough to just, you know, keep following the same goddamn trend, so you have to fucking break it out of them. And try to blame the homeless. If it gets to the point where those same type of people that, you know, bitch and moan about that start becoming homeless themselves, they'd probably start changing their tune. But at the same time, you know, I'd prefer if we just broke it out of them before that. So, but honestly, that's what it takes for a lot of these type of people. Like, you have to, like, you know, let it accelerate, you know, and get worse for these type of people in order for them to kind of see the fucking error of that shit. I mean, funny enough, little Husky, you know, the other night was like, I don't want anyone to actually, like, get hurt. I just want things better for white people, I guess. Like, so I guess he, like, you know, evolved a little bit, as little as it was. It's still something, I guess. So, I mean, I guess, you know, it's just gotta break it one way or another. Like, this fucking fascistic grasp on society and shit needs to be quashed and fucking just beaten to submission, like, utterly. By, really, at this rate, by any means necessary. Within reason, at least. Shouldn't say, like, literally any means. I'm sure they would care. There's always see bootlickers living out the pickup truck cheering police crackdowns of protesters. I mean, yeah, I do. But at the same time, I see a lot of those same type of people that if you talk to them, they'll probably, you know, kind of realize that they aren't necessarily having this really great treatment by cops either, especially if they're homeless. I mean, because honestly, especially if these type of people are at their slowest points, like, especially if they're in a situation where they're homeless, at that point, most of the society is especially not going to be looking at them because they're going to have the whole, like, NIMBY attitude because, like, especially in America, that's kind of the normal type of takeaway when it comes to shit like this. Is to have more of the whole, like, this won't be in my backyard type of mentality. And it's like, at least, you know, for those side people, it's like, well, I mean, merely talking to them will immediately melt down a lot of their fucking defense mechanisms when it comes to certain things. I mean, I've seen it happen with a few people that were homeless I've talked to just because they would come into work frequently, you know, just grab, you know, some food and stuff, shit like that, and I'll chat with them and stuff and kind of get to know a little bit about what they think or believe, and, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's just like, you know, they end up melting away some of their defenses or some of their, like, usual ideas, you know, because I've seen some people be like, you know, it's like I used to not really be for, like, you know, social welfare stuff, but being in this situation I'm in now, I kind of see why, and, you know, I can be back and forth, be like, yeah, I mean, that's why these type of things are there in the first place, is try to help people when they're lowest. It's like, yeah, I can see it now, blah, 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 so, it happens. I mean, that's trying what I'm saying, you know, leaving the caveat that it can't happen, but, I mean, it's, like, considering how so much of these very far-right conservative types, you know, tend to be, I mean, it's, you know, you gotta know when to pick that specific type of battle, you know, when it comes to trying to break the chains out of their own brain. Kill off the fucking brain worm. Because there's definitely going to be plenty of these type of people that you just won't be able to kill the brain worm out of them. But at the same time, there'll be plenty that can. But at the end of the day, like, you know, my type of philosophy, I want to at least try to bring as many people up as possible, and when it comes to the people that are fundamentally against that every step of the way and loyal to that, you know, then squash them at this rate. Because, you know, at this point, we can't have, you know, people just constantly trying to enact, you know, a consistent state of, you know, violence and a consistent state of oppression, division, and all this other shit. You know, even if the ideas differ ever so slightly, there needs to be ideas of more unification, more so than division. Whether it's via labor, you know, certain social issues, or whatever the fuck it may be. As long as it isn't for the betterment of, you know, the common person. Got gyros and vodka lemonade. That sounds fucking awesome. I got a mango cart wheat ale, but I just got one. So I was probably going to crack it open here in a second and just kind of sip it in between me drinking this and that. Which actually, I'll crack it open right now. Now, honestly, I think that Telegram is a fat fucking upgrade. Not even gonna lie. Because honestly, especially when it comes to memes and sending links and shit like that, and also sending videos too, that would be so much better to send videos to each other. Because we can send like full-on videos now instead of like weird compressed fucking messages that, you know, are low-quality shit. So honestly, like, I don't know why we didn't think of this sooner. So smart of you to actually bring it up and get everyone on it. I didn't even think of it. Hopefully Ignore doesn't discover stickers. I know about the stickers. I already know about them, I just haven't set them up. I don't know how to or anything. I never really looked into that. But I want to have stickers. I want to have like a few, you know, Ignore Husky stickers. And a few, like, union stickers and stuff. Actually, what if... Yeah, hold on. Speaking of, like, labor stuff. Hold on. Gonna go all caps mode on Venom. Yeah, I need to see if he has a Telegram. Because then we can probably have like a little Ignore Husky little Telegram group and a Discord group after that too. That actually sounds like a pretty decent idea. because then we can get, some other folks, like Mornax and a couple other people on there, too. Then I can actually, like, post on there about to stream in, like, 10 minutes or some shit like that, and people can at least, get a proper notification if YouTube, or in the future Twitch, doesn't notify right away and shit like that. So, honestly, that doesn't even sound like a bad idea either. I might actually set that up. But about that labor news, I saw because I have this little app called News Pop, and it's like one of the sources where I go. Well, I guess it's one of the apps that I go to for articles, because it will just usually like be kind of like a conglomerate of various different articles, including whatchamacallit, like the AP, also, just the only reason why I'm saying AP because I actually, for some reason, the AP is like entirely taking up my whole thing right now for some reason. Yeah, for some reason right now it's all 8 Associated Press. I don't know why it's doing nothing but that for right now. But yeah, there are things like New York Times and a few other like things, including ones that normally I would have to like pay a subscription for or some shit. But I can at least kind of subvert it because of it, so it's at least kind of nice that way. But yeah, I saw, at least on Associated Press, that Trader Jose's, or Trader Joe's, but me and Rip, obviously, we like to call it Trader Jose's just because it's a little meme. I actually remember, as a little aside, that a while back, like, I heard how, like, apparently saying Trader Joe's as, like, Trader Jose's or some other alteration of it was seen as racist, which honestly I literally do not even see that honestly whatsoever. Like, because I heard like there was different I apparently, I guess, outside of Trader Jose's there's a few others, like a few other nicknames that have like cycled around before, like Trader Jesus I think was another one, and and a few others I guess. But it's just like, honestly, I mean, like, I don't know. It just seems like a fucking stretch. Are they talking about Canadian rip-off Pirate Joe's? No. Like, I remember, I don't remember the details. I just remember seeing an article, at this point, probably like a year and a half ago, or maybe 2 years ago. But it was like, the different nicknames people have for Trader Joe's, can, potentially be seen as racist or whatever. And I'm just like, what? It's like, that's a stretch. Like, honestly, I really do see it as like a fucking stretch. I just am just randomly reminded of it just because, like, just because I've never heard of that before. But it's always stuck in my mind since I saw that arc. I forgot. I think it was like one of the. I think it might have been like a BuzzFeed article or some shit, if I remember correctly. One of those outlets. And it's like, wow, okay. But yeah, but either way, Trader Joe's though is starting to get some unionization pushed onto them now, but not around here though, but out in Massachusetts. And I just am noticing it's like, well, more of the trend of labor starting to be on the upward skyrocketing route towards at least being more of a national movement. Because at this rate, like Starbucks has been like getting hit the most. Like at least like 80+% of Starbucks shops that have attempted unionization have succeeded, which that's fucking overwhelmingly successful. Like very overwhelmingly. Like that's just like a full-on like just obliteration of the enemy victory right there type shit. And then on top of that, like, I mean, there's still this very national fight with Amazon where it's still kind of a 50-50, well, a little bit, like, because Bessemer is still fighting their shit. There was one victory, then one defeat in New York. So, there's, a little bit of a back and forth still with that type of shit, but the fact that it's still fighting hard and strong right now proves that, it ain't going nowhere. And on top of that, like, I've heard, like, I think Verizon was, getting pushed with this as well. Fucking, that Trader Joe's now. There's been a few other places on top of, like, these other bigger ones, around Striketober back in 2020 with, like John Deere, and all these other different companies. So, it's just going to keep growing more and more. And then last year, there was a massive strike just before Christmas with QFCs and Fred Meyer's with our local union. And then after that, shortly afterwards, the following year, this year, we got ours. Which now at this point, company management is essentially dragging on as long as fucking possible to make sure that we don't get our shit basically up until fucking June. Because essentially they have like this little grace period to actually like fully implement everything, even though technically they have 60 days to implement the actual wage increases to everything. Because they had until June to fucking actually do all the back pay and all that shit. Not the fucking, wait until like, the contract raises and shit. Which also, funny enough, fucks over management even further because that's also more back pay that they have to fucking pay over. And honestly, me and some of my coworkers kind of narrowed it down to, I think, why it's happening. It's because they're trying to find a way to not pay as much back pay as possible and trying to find a way to minimize the raise as much as possible and just basically fuck over the contract, with as many loopholes as they can fucking figure out. So... so when it comes to the whole back pay thing, they're going to definitely try to figure out how to minimize back pay for people. So if it's like, oh, hey, you only work this amount of hours and this, that, blah, 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 so you only get this certain amount of back pay, or whatever. They're going to find fucking whatever it is. And, basically, one of our coworkers put it pretty nicely. It's like, if it smells like shit and you're looking at it, it looks like shit, probably shit. And it's like, yeah, honestly, that's probably what it is. Because, I mean... at least when it comes to the union side of it, they didn't do nothing wrong on this fucking front. They fought and pushed and actually got the contract through, and it was a very overwhelming yes on it once it was all said and done. So it's like, they came through with their shit. It's now just corporate management that wants to fucking stifle it and try to hold off on it as long as fucking possible. And honestly, I'm thinking this is also something that, store directors... the heads of the stores, or something that do, because I've been hearing how certain other stores are actually doing pretty fine. And my guess is that their store managers and their store directors are actually giving them their raises, like, when they're supposed to, and also, are going to probably get their back pay when they're supposed to in an accordingly manner, while probably some other stores, like ours, aren't. So it's just like, it's like if there's other stores that are actually, pretty fully staffed, or even at least a few others that are so staffed that they're laying some people off and shit, it's just like, evidently, they're doing something that our store and probably a few others aren't. Like, I don't know, making sure that we get our new fucking contracts, some shit like that. Because, I don't know, that'd be fucking nice. Because at this rate, there's a lot of us that are talking, it's like, if we actually legit aren't going to fucking get this, and it's just a bunch of bullshit, then, we'll, like, basically do a fucking exodus, and, get as many people on board as possible, and then we'll see how bad, they're going to try to fucking operate then. At least for me, as long as they actually fucking, do the proper back pay for, especially my shit, considering that they also haven't did the journeyman wages for me for who knows how fucking long, on top of all this shit, if they were able to actually give me that, and the back pay for the new contract shit, and the actual wage increase, I'd come back, if they finally were to do it, but that's if they, keep dragging this shit on. I mean, honestly, if anything, I'd say, organize that idea into more so of a fucking walkout. Be like, hey, why don't we just get as many people as possible, just walk the fuck out, and until we get our fucking actual contract increases and shit like that, we're not gonna fucking go in there. We'll clock on, and then we're just gonna sit outside and not do shit. We'll walk out and just, just like soak up the company dime. And, guess what? That's our shift. Get us our fucking wage. So, you know, maybe we'll actually do our job. Giving you a raise. They were supposed to, like, okay, so we got it back in fucking, just before April, so I think around, March. So it passed in March, and it was supposed to be 60 days afterwards. So the 30-day period would have been the remainder of March, and then just a little bit of April, and then 60-day period would be a little bit of April, and up to the first week of May. So it should have been started. So the wage increase, when it comes to at least actually implementing it without actually being penalized with things like back pay or whatever the fuck and that type of shit, was a 60-day type of period, which would be basically the beginning of May. And as we know, it's the 16th of May, 2 weeks in. So yeah. They got basically another 2 months until they actually legally get penalized with some shit. So yeah, they literally are dragging it out as long as possible. Essentially, who's patient enough to stick around and deal with their fucking bullshit, you know, and then they finally decide to do it. And even then, they might not even do the fucking back pay shit, because they're trying to fucking find a way to weasel their way out of that. Guarantee it. Because doing back pay for a lot of the workers, especially when it came to the period of the negotiation and contract to when it passed, that's profit out of the fucking owner's hands, you know, which is actually more so the fucking actual wages of the worker that's just being taken away. So if anything, it's just us actually getting a little bit more of our fucking proper payback for our production till July. That's probably what they're going to try to do. Legit, honestly, they're going to probably try to do that. And honestly, they're going to get it to us way fucking before that happens. I'm like, at this rate, I'm going to assure it. If not, that store is going to suddenly be very fucking empty. I like to see the fucking management try to deal with that shit. Well, I'm definitely gonna fucking talk to a couple of my coworkers who especially were talking about this earlier today that are working tomorrow. I'm gonna mention this to them. Like, hey, you know, this whole 2-week notice idea that we were mentioning, how about we orchestrate that into a walkout and start talking to some other people that especially want to fucking, you know, get their wages in now. It's like, if we don't get it within, like, let's say at the end of this fucking month, then we're organizing a walkout and demanding we get this shit, and we're not gonna, you know, go to work until we do. Like, and get as many people on board, but of course have to try to be very hush and hum about it. I already know plenty of people, including department managers, ours included, that very will be in favor of that. So, and I already know a lot of departments that are very heavily understaffed as it is. The meat department only has 3 fucking people. We're supposed to have like 8. For the longest time, they only had 2. For like months. That's like the most bare minimal possible. Like, there's not even a realistic way you can actually staff a meat department like that. Because basically, one person is staffed to work that essentially entire fucking day. If you think about it. Outside of a few days where you might have one person, but you're going to have at least maybe 2 or 3 days where you're literally going to work by yourself the entire time. And for the meat department, I haven't worked back there, but I already know goddamn well that for an absolute fact, you cannot run that place by yourself, and yet somehow those motherfuckers are. And one of them is about middle-aged, and the other one's an older man, and the other guy that got over there, who was a courtesy, but got over, switched over there finally, not too long ago, he's a younger kid, and it's just like, man, like, all 3 of them, you know, got fucking bullshit to deal with, and, you know, especially for the older gent, because he's been working there even before I was working there. And it's just like, I don't even know how he fucking does it. But you're still running Tyler by 12-year-olds and tweakers. Oh my god, dude. I swear they would fucking do that. And what's so disgusting is that, like, I'm learning more about what our store director's past work as a pastor was like. He was literally a prosperity gospel type of dude. He was a prosperity preacher. Like a Joel Osteen type. And it's just like, oh my god, what a fucking rat, man. It's just like, what the fuck. And one of my other coworkers, I don't think he's like full-on Christian, but I think maybe to a certain degree he is. And he was saying, it's like, this is why people hate fucking Christians, man. It's because you got fucking people like that. And I'm like, honestly, yeah. I mean, because so much of what Christianity is today fell so far away into what the actual, like, tenements of what it's about, that at this rate, like I was saying last night, like, you're getting people who are more like, hey, you're getting people who are more like agnostic or atheistic or upholding the tenements of what the original ideas were more so than fucking Christians. At least when it comes to Jesus' philosophy specifically. Because obviously there's a lot of fucking disturbing, fucking horrible shit in the Bible. But at least Jesus specifically, like, I mean, if you look at where, you know, his philosophy lied, it was honestly, in a modern sense, pretty leftist. Outside of maybe a couple stories or a couple things that he had as lessons, but outside of that, pretty much predominantly, it was a very, like, egalitarian, empathetic to your fellow man, lefty type of dude. Like a very hippie type of dude. I mean, so it's just like, yeah, it sounds kind of like a lefty, you know, contemporary mindset, at least in a modern sense. So it's just like, strange how a lot of right-wing Christians in America don't really abide by his philosophy because they don't believe in it at all. At least they pretend to. And that's honestly what's more disgusting, is that they pretend that, you know, they're a follower or an advocate of Jesus and his teachings. And it's just like, what? It's like, I don't even necessarily believe he was a legitimate person. I think he was more of like a character that was made, but, you know, by man. But either way, it's just like, I'm probably, you know, more closer to what he was, you know, trying to preach and practice, you know, more so than you. So, try again. You know, if you sift for all the incest, rape, and genocide, Bible's kind of based. I mean, honestly, yeah. Like, if you really do shift through the incest, the genocide, the rape, the fucking, like, you know, God being the genocidal fucking tyrant. If you go for all that, if you sift for all that shit, like, honestly, I mean, like, there's a, you know, like, Lucifer / Satan, I mean, he's a dude who's reoccurring in the Bible. And honestly, whenever he comes up, he always seems like he's more of a protagonist than God is. Like, even with Job, like, the story of Job, Genesis, like, Lucifer is more of the truth teller, more so than God is. Like, in Genesis, he takes the shape of a serpent and tells Eve, like, hey, if you eat that fruit, like, you're not going to die or anything bad's going to happen to you. If anything, you're going to, like, you know, gain the, you know, fruit of knowledge and the fruit of self-actualization and, you know, and self-awareness. And she did, gave it to Adam, and it's just like, because she realized and enlightened herself and realized, oh shit, he was right. The snake was right. So, I mean, who is the protagonist in that story? And with Job, God basically fucking purposely, you know, made Job go through a bunch of fucking agony and bullshit because Lucifer fucking made a bet on him. It's like, oh, I bet, you know, you can't, you know, I bet you can make him disloyal to you and shit like that. I bet I could sway him. He's like, oh yeah? Try me. It's like, it's gross. Basically, he had a bunch of kids literally killed, too, by the way, during that, because they made fun of him being bald. It sent like 2 bears to just, like, slaughter a bunch of children. It's like, wow, what a benevolent God. Wish we had an honest meeting at that then treat people who believe in sky genies and base their philosophy off a deeply thought 2,000-year-old book as the same level as actual scientific advancements. Ugh, tell me about it, man. I feel ya. It's like, CNN, having Ken Ham and fucking Bill Nye have a debate about creationism and evolution is not a fucking actual, like, legit nuanced, you know, discussion. That's just fucking drama points. That's debate bro shit, basically. Gabriel, you know, you could have just given him hair. Yeah, you know, like, hey, God, he could have maybe, you know, just did the genetic dice roll to make sure that he had hair. You know, you could have done that. Because you are God. You do create people in your image. So, why didn't you create, you know, Job to have hair? Like in your image. Oh, so he could be made fun of, so he can slaughter a bunch of kids? Okay, wow, what a nice God. But, yeah, it's just like, A Tucker Carlson's mainstreaming of white supremacy inspired the Buffalo shooter. That doesn't need to be mentioned, Mike Figueredo. We already know this. Also, a little side note of that, like, I mean, honestly, it's not even really necessarily a side note, it's kind of somewhat tangential, like, because Carlson actually does espouse a lot of this type of shit, too, because he feeds into it as a, quote, populist. Same thing with shit like the Great Replacement Therapy and a lot of fucking evangelicalism, all sorts of shit. Can there actually be, like, a case to be made that maybe there can be, like, a shutdown of an advocacy of, you know, certain shit at this rate because of the actual fucking, like, terroristic damage that it can do to fucking the general populace? I mean, it's strongly starting to become like, hey, just, you know, like, this whole Great Replacement just being a discussion-based thing, you know, it's like, that. No. It's quickly becoming a, you know, reality that that's just not the case. It's an idea that emboldens violence and, you know, an advocate of the terrorism. Like, that's essentially what that whole idea is about. It's an advocation and destruction of society because, white people being replaced or some weird fantasy. It's like, I mean, that's inherently an idea of, you know, terroristic violence, you know, that's going to be espoused in a society due to its, quote, diversity. Like, there's been just too many cases of, you know, fucking Nazis and white supremacists and white nationalists, you know, fucking enacting terror, you know, based on this idea. So, it's like, I mean, it should just be an idea that, you know, can just be freely talked about, at least on mainstream media and shit like that. You know, if some random bozo wants to keep talking about it and be a fucking idiot on, you know, online and be in the sunlight, fine, but, like, I mean, when it comes down to, like, media heads or politicians being, like, pretty much advocates or, you know, following these types and pushing, you know, and normalizing these ideas, including people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, by the way, you know, because she's a fascist herself, like, she's a Nazi as well, considering that she's been to Nazi, like, political rallies and shit, like AFPAC. So it's just like, I mean, you got, like, these people, even who are in our own government, who are an advocate for this type of shit, who normalize these type of things. There's even a fucking pro-insurrectionist who defends the January 6th Capitol coup and shit in the Supreme Court. So it's like, But, yeah, it's just like, I wonder why these ideas are just so normalized in fucking America. It's not, you know, just by coincidence. It's not just because it happens to just be some historical inherent. It's literally woven into our government. It's how it works. Been a lot of times where it's been rooted out, but obviously, evidently, and clearly, nowhere near enough. And we need to kind of not just take Germany's approach, but even go further about it when it comes to rooting it out at this rate. And at the same time, a lot of those type of people, despite the contrary of Germany today, think Germany's weak now. Like, a lot of these Nazis and fascists literally think Germany is like some weak puppet state to the West now, and it's like fucking, you know, under the boot of, like, immigration and all this other weird shit. despite the mass contrary. Like, if anything, like, Germany's like one of Europe's strongest economies at this point. Like, if anything, it's, you know, come back as a pretty strong power in Europe, but just economically and for the better, even with its fucking flaws and problems, because Germany still got plenty of problems being more of a, you know, kind of liberalized, you know, type of state, kind of like a lot of the rest of Europe is, and considering the business class, you know, like, yeah, they're going to be in there just as much as in places like in France and England and so on. So, yeah, they got problems, but, you know, evidently nowhere near as, you know, badly as America does. So they must be doing something right. I wonder if also things like universal healthcare and actually like proper infrastructure and shit like that has anything to do with it too. Probably. Proper education. That's a strong thing to it. Like, it seems like a weird kind of boogeyman word, but like re-education needs to honestly be kind of an idea that should be seriously considered. Like, there needs to be a legit, like, mass, like, re-educationing, you know, when it comes to our fucking society. Like, when it comes to, I mean, this is why, you know, there's so much backlash by the far right when it comes to things like CRT or, you know, the LGBT grooming kids in schools or all this other weird shit. Because fundamentally, they know it's, you know, ways of educating people out of their fucking indoctrinatory ideas. And that's good. Like, the more they cry about it, if anything, that means for the better. Because it just shows that, you know, their ideas are being essentially, like, reformed out and being re-educated and weeded out of, you know, our system and shit. And that's for the better. And they hate that. Hence why it's all woke. It's all, you know, these weird boogeyman words that they want to fucking throw at you to make it sound scary. Even though it's just their fucking bigoted, backwards ideas being slowly weeded out like the parasite that it is. In order to have a healthy body, you can't have parasites in your system, right? My favorite Boondocks quote: "We're Americans. We don't admit when we're wrong. We keep doing the wrong thing until it turns out right." Honestly, the Boondocks didn't necessarily originate that quote. I mean, that specific line they did, but they took that from Churchill. Because Churchill, along the lines, basically said you can always rely on the Americans to do the right thing after they exhausted every other option. Basically implying that America is going to do literally everything wrong and won't do the right thing until basically they said, basically they did everything else, which was the wrong shit. So they'll do the right thing after they fucked up like 5,000 times over. Churchill's right about that, as much of a colonialist piece of fucking imperialist bastard shit he was. He's at least right with that. Said by Ed Onkler. I know people like that. Yeah, I do too. I know a couple people like that myself. I mean, I feel like everyone is capable of being like that, but hence the whole thing about like education and shit. Because in order for people to minimalize I haven't watched enough Boondocks, you know. But I've seen enough to, like, know about it and know the memes and references, at least to a degree, but not enough to know everything about it, so forgive me, I'm sorry. I need to, honestly. I should, you know, spend some time to actually binge that show, because what I have watched, it's good and funny, so. Impressive. Notion of, quote, doing it my way needs to be the spell, stop throwing water in the grease fire. Yeah. I mean, I guess, I need a little elaboration of that. Because, I'm thinking contextually of, quote, doing it my way. And I do think of some instances where that actually is probably a good thing. Because, like, I mean, for example, in context of, like, my workplace, for example, while there is shit that is by the book and all that type of shit, for a department like mine, it's very easy to just kind of, well, do things your way, and it doesn't necessarily impede on, the work at all. And if anything, sometimes when it comes to certain things like closing or, being a cook or whatever the fuck, sometimes, at least, being more comfortable and doing it your way and having, like, a system that you're comfortable with is probably for the best. Because I have a system and I do things my way when it comes to closing, and it's and it still, goes by the book and make sure everything's all done and all that shit. Like, I mean, I don't necessarily think it's, I think, within reason it can be okay. But it's more of a very localized type of thing, like when it comes to things like the workplace and shit like that. But again, it's within reason, because there's definitely, and I've known people that will do things their way, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop it, please. So honestly, it's just like, it's like, I actually have a story where we had this one person at our department that didn't last long, because honestly her background in employment and career was doing like cleaning work when it came to hotels and things like that. So when she worked at our department and started cleaning stuff, it's not like she was doing it wrong, she was just not doing it in the procedures that are more necessary for an environment in a workplace like ours versus a hotel, right? So it's just like, I mean, she just did things her way, where it's like, what are you fucking doing? Like, and she was also Jamaican as well, so she had a fucking very thick accent. So sometimes those, like there was a little bit of a communication barrier. So after a while, we just kind of, we'll at least let her, tell her like, hey, can you at least do these things? And we'll just leave her alone and just let her do it, because honestly, it was just like, I mean, it got to a point where it was just like, good lord, like, we tried to at least explain, to her. Sometimes it was just like, we had to tell her like so many times, and we all kind of agreed like, hey, let's just give up on that, and let's just, at least where, it counts, and where at least, she works out, let's just have her do those type of things, so, I mean, we made it work, but it's still obviously at the long run wasn't necessarily going to work out, but I think if she eventually did get employed somewhere where her type of work style was more benefactory towards, where she was employed next. So, I mean, if anything, she, ended up going to, somewhere that would be more better for her. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I hope for the best for her, but she was honestly quite a character when we were working with her, and at the end of the day, I didn't like hate her or dislike her or nothing. She was just one of those people that did it her way, and it was just like, it was like, oh my god, oh no. And funny enough, she kind of thought I was attractive because she liked my accent. She thought it was like smooth and sexy. I'm like, what the fuck? Because funny enough, she was actually kind of older, like in her 40s and shit. I'm just like, what? I have a Jamaican cougar who's kind of like into me. Like, what the hell? It was like, I honestly, for the entire time, I didn't know how to take that. But that rumor kind of came around quick, because she just kind of told people at my workplace, and everyone, like, one day I came into work and they're like, so you got a new crush, huh? And I was like, what? And it was basically like, yeah, so yeah, that new girl, she kind of likes your accent. She likes how you talk. And I'm like, what? I was so confused, but yeah, and I said, hey, what's up? And she's like, told her, it's like, so you kind of like me? And it's just like, she kind of started laughing a little bit. It's like, yeah, I like your accent. And then it's like, oh, well. Which, honestly, thinking about it, you wouldn't think that, like, I don't necessarily think of myself having, like, an accent, but, I mean, I do, actually. I mean, it's actually kind of a very Pacific Northwest, obviously, but with very subtle Southern and, like, kind of Midwestern drawl to it. Very, well, maybe not subtle, but, you know, with a little hint of that. Because, you know, my mom from the South and my dad from the Midwest and shit from Montana, so there's going to be a little mixture of those accents from their background growing up, but also, naturally, being in the Pacific Northwest, got a very strong PNW accent, too. Which, to me, like, it just seems like I kind of have, like, a very mixed American accent, honestly. Because it's very easy for me to, like, quickly catch other, like, regional accents, or at least kind of a very broad general idea of that. Like the New Jersey accent, which kind of blends in with the New York one. Oh, I'm walking here. You know, so it's not hard to kind of blend accents a little bit. Like, you know, so I guess because of me having some little bit of a mixture in my accent, just naturally, you know, it's easy for me to kind of delve into others. If I'd at least know how it goes, at least on a very general level. Like, I don't really know much of the Chicago accent. I know about Minnesota. Oh, I'm from Minnesota. It's a little bit of a Canadian thing, eh? Just a little bit. We don't really do the A thing a lot, but every now and then we'll throw it in there. Honestly, Mornax will have to be there to confirm that for me, because he grew up there, but he's not here right now, so... Unless he's lurking. I know every now and then he'll do that shit. He'll just kind of pop out of nowhere and be like, what's up? It's like, how long have you been here? I know people Pacific Northwest, they always sound like they're implying a question. Pacific Northwest? Is there something that am I having like a... I think the only west of Canada does A. I don't think the east does. I honestly don't know. I've never really been to Vancouver, BC. So... I mean, I honestly don't know. I don't know, like, what part of Canada does the whole A or the sorry or whatever. I just think all of Canada does it. Like, Canada gets very generalized to me. Until I go to Canada and start enlightening myself, which, from what I understand, is basically kind of like a little America, almost. And in some ways kind of better, in other ways not so much. Like, they're more expensive, so, you know, it's like... Things, you know, when it comes to the dollar value and shit, will be a little bit more spendy. So it sounds like Iceland on that front. You know, it's like if you go there, it's going to actually be kind of expensive to, you know, be there, but like traveling there probably isn't that expensive. And then, like, you know, a lot of how, you know, their culture is basically somewhat similar, but maybe a little bit more liberal and progressive on things. Which, yeah, I would say that's true. Like, they have federalized legal weed versus, you know, America, where they're still fucking struggling to even get it state by state. Though that's not exactly much of a struggle, I mean, really, but just fundamentally the fact that it's still, like, that's what we have to, like, just work with. It's just like, oh my god. Even though there could be a motherfucker that could just use a pen to, you know, change that, but, can't rely on, you know, a certain somebody to do jack shit. No malarkey on that front. Vancouver, they do it. From my understanding, Toronto and BS doesn't. I guess Nova Scotia definitely doesn't, because if there's anything to take away from the Trailer Park Boys, is that they definitely will do the sorry, but they don't really do the A. I mean, they'll throw it in there occasionally, but not that often. They're definitely more about, like, the story and shit like that. What are you doing? Why are you licking that? Can you not? So what are you doing? Goof? Don't give me that look, you little fucking terrorist, you. Look at that, look at that. Look at that little... Yes, specific. A specific Northwest. It was an r/wish for me, but now I think I just realized it, and it's like, oh my god, that is a dad joke and a half. What are you doing? Give me the pause. What's the legit weirdest thing you've seen at work? Actually, let me think of something recent. Actually, there's this dude. He didn't show up today, but yesterday, the day before that, and so Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, this dude has been showing up, and he's definitely legit a little off. And whether it's due to substances or something else, I don't know. But basically, he will just, like, he'll show up, kind of talk to himself, and then he'll just randomly, like, start, like, looking at people and just start talking with them like he's just, like, he was, like, just having a conversation with them, and a lot of people just are, like, look over and be like, what the fuck? Just kind of, like, confused. And, and we, give him some food and stuff like that and help him out, with some shit, and whatever, but he's, like, he would just, like, ramble off about the most weirdest of shit. Like, I remember, I think it was, like, I think Friday he was rambling off about, like, this phone plan or some shit. And then Saturday he was rambling about how he got kicked out of the library for some reason or another. I don't know what or why. Frankly, part of me wants to know, but doesn't. And I have a weird feeling that it was probably due to something. I don't know what. Probably him being very rambunctious, if I had to imagine. Hey, what the? Like, you are, you little goof. Goof. But, yeah, I mean, at least lately, that has probably been the weirdest thing right now. Because I'm wondering, like, one of these days, he's probably going to be there, and I have a feeling he might start some shit with somebody. And it's like, uh-oh, what are we going to... It's like, we're going to probably have to step in or something if that were to happen. And what are you doing? Bubba. All I do is use the bathroom, but wait, the library doesn't have a bathroom. Actually, ours does. What the fuck, dude? What the hell, bro? He's just looking at me like, what? What'd I do? Don't you even start it, dude. Don't you dare. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. He's now very heavily distracted. What was this? Jesus, clash between pro-choice and anti-choice protesters. Oh, God. In D.C.? Oh, no. This looks like a gem. This is a few days ago, it looks like.
For too long, this country...
Oh, damn, dude. These people got fancy. Got, like, a whole goddamn, like, big-ass, like, big screen and shit. Damn, fancy. Fancy shit right there.
A small but loud group from the religious right to dominate the narrative around abortion and religion, claiming that abortion access is a violation of religious freedom. So we ask them, whose religious freedom are you trying to protect?
The immovable submarine is Sandy clashing with the unstoppable force of reason. Yep. Honestly, that's a nice way to put it.
Choose life and live. I'm so happy you're more than abortion.
Yo, okay, honestly, I thought that was a werewolf mask. It's just somebody's hair being all crazy. But, oh my god, dude. This dude is straight up trying to, like, you know, like, literally, like, bum rush a crowd and be in the middle of all these fucking people being like, Jesus will save and love you.
And has nothing to do with it. Nothing. So what you doing with colonization?
Why is he trying to look like a construction worker or something with this fucking vest? Like, oh my god.
Jesus, I'm studying the colonization. Nothing. Can't touch. Jesus saves. Jesus loves you.
Did he save the children at Polaroid?
Jesus saves.
Oh my god, he just sounds like a harpy seal, dude. Just Jesus saves. Jesus saves. Just like, oh my god, dude. You literally sound like a fucking, like, repeating megaphone or something. Just literally on repeat. I asked him to actually read the text because it's pro-abortion. Yeah. Or like the whole bitter water and shit, where the mother will miscarry if it's not your child and shit like that. Like, there's a lot of different instances where there is. There's literally, like, dashing babies up against walls and shit. Like, I mean, they go as far as, like, infanticide in the Bible.
I love you. I love you. You can't do nothing about it.
I love how there's that sign, fuck your god. Dude, I love how that's right there, bro. I love it, bro.
Love you. Amazing, whatever that.
Fuck your god.
She was complete. Abortion is
Turn down a little bit there.
So we live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we work with an organization called Rehumanize International that is a secular, nonpartisan human rights.
I love you and you can't do nothing about it. That sounds a little rapey. That really did.
That is dedicated to abolishing violence in all forms against all people from conception to natural death.
So, what is like an ideal abortion policy?
So I think that abortion needs to be legal. We understand the scientific reality that abortion kills a human being. We know that at conception or fertilization, what we have is a genetically distinct, whole, living human being. And so
oh my god, dude. These stupid bitches are literally trying to, like, sound like they understand the science when they literally don't. It's like at conception, you know, there is literally, like, you know, a full-fledged human being. Not that guy again, the one on the left. Wait, you've seen this? That dork has been around before? Sukoff, what are you doing? What are you doing, baby?
Say that abortion is wrong. I really don't feel as though that is any kind of position outside of just murders, killing.
Yeah, that guy was that process and then it all started. Oh my god.
And so we believe that abortion should be illegal in all cases. Elective abortion. Things like miscarriage management or treatment for ectopic pregnancies should, of course, be exempt as they always are in public legislation. However, we do see some fear mongering going on from the media and from the abortion lobby and the abortion industrial complex.
The abortion industrial complex? Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, that exists? Like, oh my god. That ban on YouTube. Wait, that dude has a YouTube channel? Oh my god, wow.
You know, abortion in the case of an already dead child, which would be a DNC in miscarriage management. However, we oppose all elective abortion, the intentional killing of a human being.
Oh my god, you know, oh my, it's like, man, shove a cactus up your ass. Like, Jesus Christ, abortion killed the human being. Like, no, it doesn't. It's like, fucking god. I sometimes post vids on his Twitch streams. Oh. Oh wait, the Jesus Saves guy? You have to point him out again. He might pop up.
No. Respect a woman. I'm not talking about loving women. No. Respect a woman. I'm out here. Respect her right to choose what she wants. I'm not pro-choice.
Oh, this guy is literally out here, like, this Jesus Saves motherfucker being like, I'm pro-choice! It's like, no, you're literally not, bitch. Like, oh my god. Like, you should get, oh my god, get out of here. I love how this base-ass old dude over here is just like, respect the woman's choice and shit, and like, pointing at these women like, you were gonna respect their fucking choice. Like, dude, this guy here on the right, he's based. Based boomer.
Listen, let me answer. Are you... I heard the question. Who chooses abortion? Well, I understand when you say you're pro-choice, it's a choice whether it's going to be a live baby or a dead baby. The choice is yours, after birth.
I love how he was just so casual. It's like, live baby is after birth, bro. Like, I mean, like, bro, a baby is when they're born. You weirdo.
It doesn't exist, so you got out of this. Let's talk about society. Do you respect a woman's choice? Over and over. I'm so glad your mom didn't abortion. Your mom's pro-life. Your mom's pro-life. She has human fear. I believe in pro-choice. A woman has a choice. You respect a woman who chose abortion. Let me tell you, a woman has a choice to make it a live baby or a dead baby. It's a baby. No, it isn't a baby.
Oh my god, dude. A baby's a baby should do something right. Fuck you. It's just like, I mean, obviously that dude wouldn't say fuck you. He'd be like, Jesus will save you or some shit. But like, oh my god, what a fucking chuckle fuck, dude. Like, this motherfucker's just like, I'm pro-choice because, you know, the woman has a choice to have a live or a dead baby. It's just like, that doesn't even come into play unless the baby's, like, born. Because at that point, it would be a baby. But before then, it's going to be a fetus and then, you know, all the other fucking shit, you know, before then. Like, this, you know, like, can't I help? Oh my god, what do you want? What the fuck? Man, again, like, re-education needs to honestly stop being a boogie word or, you know, boogeyman type of word or something like that. Because low-key, like, there just needs to be, like, fuck. I mean, you got people who literally just don't understand basic fucking science, and they literally are trying to perceive themselves as people that do understand basic science and shit. Like, I mean, it's like, no, you literally don't. You're all, like, you have a literal irrational understanding about the world around you. Like, you need to actually, like, be forced back into the education system and actually be, like, taught properly and shit. Because, oh my god. Like, it's absurd. Like, it's getting, like, because it's starting to literally just, like, do, like, physical and actual drastic harm to fucking society and shit. Because it's also a role in the things like the Buffalo shooter and shit, who did his fucking white nationalist terrorist slaughter of, you know, fucking black people, literally drove 4 hours out of his way to fucking go to that place. Just because, you know, per capita, that's the most amount of black people, you know, that he happened to fucking, you know, live nearby. And it's just like, I mean, especially when you have a fucking boy like him, you know, being indoctrinated and shit, you know, it's like, we need to do, like, just or have like, you know, some sort of a mass reformation and a, you know, and honestly be pretty strict when it comes to our education system at this point. Like, it needs to be, you know, very vigorous about making sure that these type of fucking ideas don't spread and actually have more critically thinking and, you know, intelligent, rational fucking individuals. But of course, you know, as it stands now, realistically, that's just impossible. Definitely not, though. It'd be a hard fight. The one I think fucking worth it, though. Because the investment in the long run is... it shouldn't be explained about how worth it that would obviously be. Less of this stupid shit. I found a band that's like a combo of Yes and Tool called Haken. Ooh. I won't be able to listen to it on stream most likely, but you'll have to link it. Link it in our new Telegram. Let us all be embraced by Haken. What, it might sound cold, but what if the guy says, okay, it's dead then? Or dead it is then? I mean, it wouldn't necessarily look good. He, you know, the preacher guy would just basically be so like, you are, you know, a dead baby, blah, blah, blah. Like, if anything, like, you know, that probably just, you know, not, optically not really look good. I think it'd be a little bit of a troll, and I think it'd be kind of funny, but... I mean, considering how he's going about it right now, that would also be kind of a little off-color. Like, he was just fucking with him the entire time instead. Like, I think, you know, that'd be perfect, but it's not, like, outright fucking with the guy. He's actually trying to, like, to put reason into his brain, but obviously that ain't gonna happen. There needs to be, like, you know, professional, like, not just, you know, educators, but, like, psychologists, too, that can, like, psychologically, like, you know, maximize the potential of, like, de-brainwashing motherfuckers. Because, like, oh my god. I love how someone, one of the ladies out there was just like, nobody asked you. He's like, I love you. It's like, literally, no one asked you. Man, I'm actually gonna, just reminding myself, I'm gonna need to mute, the Telegram while I'm doing this. I found the video on YouTube, the original. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Oh, Mornax, actually I was just thinking I might actually set up like a little Ignore Husky Telegram group and, you know, use that as kind of like a little basis, you know, for, you know, like actually having like little notifications and sharing shit and stuff like that. Go 35. Alright, I'll check that out here in a sec. I won't watch more of this here. Nobody cares.
Why y'all over here? You care. You care.
Not about you, you weirdo. They don't care about you. They care about their fucking rights. Dumbass. Oh my god. I don't know who, I'm assuming the woman saying that is pro-choice because, I mean, again, honestly, when it comes to, like, the actual teachings of the Bible, yeah, I mean, at least when it comes to Jesus as a character or a human being, one of the two, he, yeah, like, he did. He stood not just with them, but fucking, like, prostitutes and people who would be considered, like, harlots and holes and shit. Like, he stood with them. So, yeah, he absolutely did stand with women. Like, he was like a proto-feminist in a way. I mean, not like entirely, but I mean, way closer than a lot of other fucking chauvinistic bastards at the time.
I would say that this is a human rights issue, and human rights don't divide based on party, and they don't divide based
Charlotte the Harlot.
religious belief. It is based on human rights and the right to live free from violence, and my fellow pro-lifers who are religious, they're more than welcome to join us in that movement, and I know that I am just as welcome in their space as well, because this is a human rights issue, and
yeah, you're standing in the way of it, woman. Why are you standing in the way of it? Like, it's impacting your rights just as much. Oh my god.
Going to be killing children just because
No one is killing children. You want? Oh my. You want to know who's killing children? Fucking school shooters, you stupid fucking bitch. Like, are you serious? No fucking woman doing, you know, an abortion and shit is killing a fucking child. Sim again. So this guy on the left, this dude. I wish I had that Twitch bubble like I did back in the day where I could just show the entire thing, because then I could just use that Twitch bubble to circle around what I'm trying to point at. Maybe I could do that, like this guy. Or, I'm assuming I'm pointing in the right direction. Obviously here, let me take you off chat. You can see where I am, because technically it would be right here for me, but it more likely realistically is like over here somewhere for you guys, but I don't even know. But anyway, but you know, you get the point. And yes, okay, so that dork. Why is he like, oh my god, he looks like he's actually kind of tired and bored of being there now at this point. He's just like, I just want to spread my indoctrination, but I keep getting yelled at and fucked on and mocked and bullied around here, and it's not obviously a safe space, even though I want it to be, and I just don't want to be here anymore. It's like, he looks like some holier than thou, like, you know, I'm gonna try to be some enlightened centrist lib type or some shit, like, ugh. I'm a lib that, like, compromises with the right on issues, so, please, like, let's have a safe space for everybody to where we could just be reasonable, where, you know, like, hey, is it reasonable to take away a woman's right? Yes, it is, so, okay, we're all good. Centrism, everybody! Obviously, I'm, like, very, like, you know, okay with the exceptions, you know, like, you know, miscarriage stuff and, like, rape and incest, like, obviously, I'm very okay with that, but when it comes to elective, bitch, it's like, fuck you. Like, eat a cactus. And don't chew. Just eat it whole and swallow it. You interview some major media type looking guy and just goes into conspiracy land. You're running a mill pro-life salted nut bar. Salted nut bar. Like healthcare, abolishing the death penalty, making sure every mouth is fed, shelter. Oh yeah, super humanitarian. Oh yeah, 100%. Sounds kind of kinky. Salted nut bar.
In accordance with his principles, we kill the guilty, not the innocent.
We kill the guilty, not the innocent. How about we don't necessarily do that either? I mean, honestly, when it comes to certain, even I, you know, break that rule. So when it comes to, you know, some of my positions about certain shit, but like, honestly, at the end of the day, like, I mean, yeah, maybe we shouldn't do that either on principle. So. Oh shit, I love that rant. Pro-life is a lie. They don't care if people die. Dude, that's fucking bass. Oh, I love that chant. I'm a bicycle pig. Please listen to my authority. Go on the sidewalk, please. Meh. I would not take that fucking pig seriously. I'd be like, man, I met riot pigs like you and I wasn't even intimidated by them. What makes you think I'm gonna be scared of you? Like, I honestly would just, like, fucking smack that bitch down verbally. Be like, what makes you think I'm scared of you of your fucking bike? Like, shut up, bitch. Like, send the riot pigs and some tear gas and then we'll be fucking talking. Like, get the fuck out of here. Little piggy. I'm a glorified mall cop with a Ben Shapiro bell. Fear me. Oh my god, fear me. I'm a Ben Shapiro mall cop with a bell. Bing, bing. Fear me. Hey, dude, yo, hey, hold up. Did I see that Organ Ducks? Hey, it is. You just got some random dude who's just repping some Organ Ducks shit, just like, what's up, bro? End abortion violence? What does that even mean? Is that like a pro-choice or a pro-life thing? I can't even, I think it's a pro-life thing. I can't even tell. Look at these.
I'm Lauren Andy from the Progressive Anti-Abortion Uprising. I live in Washington, D.C., and we're out here to be a voice for the voiceless. We are unapologetically anti-abortion. We are against
Well, you're an idiot.
baby murder, and that's why we're out here.
You're dumb. It doesn't even sound like you take yourself seriously either about this issue. Like, I don't even think you give a fuck. You just want to be there for, like, yeah, I did a thing. I got nothing better to do. It's either this or sit home and drink a bunch of wine at home, you know, being a soccer mom.
Meaning?
What's the end game?
Even if states will still be available. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Honestly, what's funny is I actually recently started seeing coat hangers with, like, you know, the little piece of paper that'll still be kind of wrapped around the metal coat hanger stuff that's written with a bunch of different things on it. I've seen that around my neighborhood a little bit from, you know, like fences or like fire extinguisher or like fire posts and you know, like street crossings. You know, I've started seeing that around lately.
No abortion. The abortion industrial complex dismantled.
Okay, this is a talking point that the far right's using. What is this abortion industrial complex? That's literally fake. That's literally a talking point that the fucking right is projecting now. Like, they're trying to take, you know, the whole, like, you know, industrial complex fucking narrative and just, you know, throw it in whatever the fuck they want. Like, the woke, you know, industrial complex, the CRT industrial complex, the LGBTQ industrial complex, the abortion industrial complex. It's like, oh my fucking god. Like, it's just another goddamn talking point by these fucking right-wing pieces of stupid shit. Like, good lord. Re-education with you.
It is the overlapping interests of state and government that vulnerable communities to make money off of these vulnerable communities. And the end result is dead babies. It's a multi-million-dollar industry, and we are definitely against
oh my god.
exploitation and all forms of aggressive violence.
There is no goddamn fucking, like, industry behind it. It's literally just, you know, a right of, you know, for a woman to choose and have, like, self-autonomy and, you know, like self-actualization of their own fucking body. Like, there is no, like, industrial complex to this shit. I mean, everything is straw man. It's not even just that, but it's also just fucking, like, outright gaslighting, too. Like, gaslighting this weird narrative and shit, you know, saying that that's what, you know, is going on, and, you know, trying to make you, like, try to defend that. What the definition of normal is to watch them choke. Honestly, I've heard what, you know, some Christians at least think of what normal is, and oh my god, it's just, yeah. Everything's so extreme and out there, so curious what they consider a normal existence. Basically being a complacent, obedient little fucking cog in whatever indoctrinary fucking tool you've been brainwashed into. Honestly, from my observation, that's pretty much the root of it. But someone's gotta burn them fossil fuels. Yeah. And also, that bitch wanted to call herself progressive. It's like, no, you're not. You're a traditionalist. You're no better than these fucking far-right Christians and shit that are trying to, like, you know, fundamentally, you know, like, you know, just revoke the woman's right to choose.
Yes, sir. But if your freedom of speech is citing other people for possible violence, then I have to ask.
I can't control that.
Yes, sir. I understand.
You can control them.
Honestly, this dude in the fucking, like, stolen valor construction worker jacket, like, invest combo that he's trying to do here, like, I mean, while with the weird Jesus shit on the back of it, like, honestly, he has absolute control to, you know, discern whether, you know, people are actually might be doing violence against him, because he can just fuck off. Maybe he can be a little less, you know, bombastic and just try to get in people's faces, because honestly, he's been doing that. I've been watching this. Like, he's really, you know, like, kind of bumping up into people and shit. Like, if anything, he's fundamentally actually, you know, inciting it. Like, this cop is just actually legit giving him the benefit of the doubt when he said that. Like, if anything, this guy is inciting it. This dude with his weird fucking construction stolen valor vest of Jesus all over it, like, this motherfucker, like, this motherfucker, like, is actually the one inciting it. Like, I've been seeing him bump around into people and, like, kind of get all up in their grill and shit, and, you know, trying to be like, Jesus loves you, blah, 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 and he'd be like, I love you, blah, 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 and all this other shit. Like, he's the one fundamentally getting in people's fucking faces.
I'm not inciting, sir. I'm proclaiming.
Oh, even the cop said he is. Oh, so he is saying he is inciting it. Wow, okay, wow. A cop is doing his job for once. He's just putting a sign in his face. It's like, Jesus will save you. It's like, you have betrayed me and my people. Here, Jesus will save you. You have betrayed my pro-life people. I will put this up here to ensure that Jesus will save you when the time comes for your repentance. It's like, oh my God, dude, what a maroon.
Not in the crowd now, can we just exercise the First Amendment right here?
As long as nobody else has the issue, that's fine. Not in the middle of the crowd, they're not necessarily believing what you're saying, sir. Okay?
That's not the First Amendment right, sir.
There's no ordinances against.
Oh my God, what a fucking moron.
You're actually violating my First Amendment right.
No.
No, you're not. No, he's not. Like, oh my God. Like, I hate when they trot this stupid shit. Like, yeah, your free speech ends when, like, there could be potential incitement of actual violence. They get in people's fucking faces and bumping up to them and kind of getting up close and personal with a lot of these fucking people. Like, dead ass. He's in every fucking shot. Oh my God, you're right, dude. Those glasses, I recognize him. Dude, you're right. He's like, ooh, let me get all up in this. What's going on here? Oh, here, let me get up in this. Oh, what's happening? Why is he being removed? No, one of my allies. Oh my God, you're right. What the fuck? But, like, oh my God, man. Like, I love how this dude really thinks, like, my right to be violent. It's like, no, it ain't. You're literally getting up in people's faces and, like, it really, honestly, legitimately, you're probably trying to start shit. Because then you could look like the fucking victim and play the victim. Even though you're not. You're the inciter.
What's another amendment we have? Freedom to assemble, right? You're telling me, why don't you tell the one aggressor?
Sir.
Just, sir. I love that, just one simple, like, just, sir. Like, oh man, I kind of wish I knew what he was going to say after that. Oh my God. Dude, that cop was, like, starting to get very impatient, man. He was not taking a shit. He's like, he was like, man, you got about, like, 1 minute to just shut the hell up and get the fuck out of here, bro. So, like, I mean, he was just, like, at that mood. He's still there.
Jesus saves.
What? Why did they kick him out?
I love you.
No one cares.
Mom didn't abort you. I'm so happy. I'm just seeing you. You're beautiful. I don't know science.
Clearly.
Science.
Wow, at least he admits it. I don't know science. Those motherfuckers be lying and get me pissed. It's like, oh my God, dude. Like, well, at least he admits it. You know, you know what? I guess re-education wouldn't work for that guy. He's TFG. Can't fix that stupid. You can't fix that type of stupid.
Let me just take a moment to thank you.
What the hell is this dude doing? He's like, what was he saying? Like, Planned Parenthood was made by white supremacists. Oh, I don't. Okay, like, maybe even if that is, like, you know, some of the case, that's not what Planned Parenthood is now. Like, today is not what. Oh my God. Oh shit! Is there some shit happening? Oh shit! Oh dude! Oh my God! Damn dude! They're cracking on his ass, bro! Oh my God! Dude, honestly, I don't feel bad for him. I don't. Like, yeah, I guess technically, you know, I guess he was kind of getting pushed on first a little bit or whatever, but, you know, whatever. Fuck you. Hey, why do you have a husky on your shirt? You have no right to have a husky on your shirt. Alright, we need to find him and take that shirt from him. We need to reappropriate that shirt for more proper purposes. That just ain't right. Me and my people do not represent him. In fact, we want to take that back from him, that bastard.
Well, when they were escorting me out, they didn't say that I wasn't allowed back in, but they said they gotta get out of there. I'm sure.
Oh my God! Why do you have this shirt? Ah, this is blasphemous.
Back, I'll be fine.
I will take that shirt. The shirt's mine, boy.
They were like, you know, it was getting chippy because they started hitting me. They started grabbing my shit. So I just like, you know, I played sports when I was little, so I know the box out technique. I didn't throw any.
Oh my God! He's trying to flex on getting fun. Okay, hold on. Fuck you. No, you didn't. We're going back. We're watching this. Oh shit, okay, so he literally did the, okay, so that's probably where he went like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do like some box maneuver. But then he just starts getting bonked on. Yeah, sure buddy.
When they were escorting me out, they didn't say that I wasn't allowed.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I played sports when I was little, so I know the box out technique. I didn't throw any punches, but you know, I was like, you know.
Well, yeah, you bulldozed for a good amount of people.
Flexing the hips to get them away.
You like battery rammed your way through like 4 people, so yeah, you didn't throw punches, but you like bowled your way through like a fucking rabid bull at a goddamn rodeo or some shit, so I don't know.
You know? Like,
convenient choice of word use.
Plan B is just, should not be allowed. I'm not like that. I think Plan B is fine, of course. Well, obviously condoms. But, you know, at a point, a heartbeat is objectively a life. Nobody has proven to me that it's not a life. And if a heartbeat isn't a life, oh my God. Or if they could prove to me that a heartbeat isn't a life, then I'll change my mind, but nobody has.
Oh my God, that's not what people are saying, you maroon. Oh my God, what a fucking dumbass. Like, people are saying whether a woman should have the right to choose whether they have the abortion or not. And honestly, at least when it came to Roe v. Wade, they basically left it up after, you know, the point of viability to determine whether, you know, at that point, like whether states, you know, regulated further or not. And I think Oregon pretty much is the only state that has like only like one like regulation on it when it comes to abortion shit, and it basically is just like yeah, hey, you know, you have basically the right to have it. Like, I mean, there's literally nothing else when it comes to Oregon law about it. It's just like, yep, you got the right to it. Like, it's pretty very cut and dry and very simple. It's like, yep, your right to it is protected. Like, I mean, there's really nothing else to it. I mean, so, I mean, honestly, when it comes down to it, there's no, like, late-term abortions or anything like that and all that, you know, shit, unless it comes to more exceptionary cases. I mean, at least from what I understand when it comes down to the facts of it. I mean, I think Oregon's the only state that has pretty much just, like, only one law on it. So when it comes to just the basic protection, it's still a woman's choice. I mean, obviously there's going to be more to the law and shit, and there's going to be more nuance, you know, fundamentally, but, I mean, because I haven't read, like, the entire fucking thing, or, you know, all the specifics and all that shit. I just, you know, I remember one of my friends sent me a little, like, you know, map of, like, the U.S. and the different states that have, like, you know, like, this color is, like, you know, no laws or regulations on it, one that has, like, you know, one or less laws on it, and here's one of, like, 2 or less, and so on and so forth, and Oregon was pretty much the only one that had, like, 1 or less laws, you know, when it came to different things on abortions and shit. There's limits on how late you can have one, yeah. Which, to me, that's, at least, and honestly, for the most part, it seems like most people tend to agree with that. I mean, and I think that's pretty much where that, you know, specific nuance comes into place with the one law. It's just like, you know, you can have it within reason outside of medical exceptionary cases and shit. Which, I think, because honestly, fundamentally, like, the whole idea of pro-choice and shit is pretty much really a broad idea one way or another of that. You know, depending on, you know, where you draw the line on that type of specific, like, how specific you want to be with that type of shit, you know, that can vary, but, I mean, when it comes down to it, like, you know, when it comes to, like, the viability and, you know, like, having a nervous system and all that shit, like, I mean, unless there's, you know, very specific necessities medically or, like, you know, life endangerment type of situations, or, you know, the life of the baby upon birth would be terminal or detrimental, and and not survive, or whatever various other type of exceptionary circumstances be in place. I mean, outside of those type of things, I mean, I don't really got necessarily a problem with, you know, encouraging at the very least, you know, other options instead, like adoption and shit. But, I mean, at least at the end of the day, it should just still be the, you know, fucking woman's choice at the end of the day. Because, I mean, it's her fucking body. You know, I mean, it's like, I mean, what, I mean, because what type of right does the state especially have to be like, no, we're just gonna make you not act? It's like, okay. Based on, like, I guess just, you know, different circumstances, I suppose, but, like, I mean, what if she, you know, like, I mean, I could get maybe, honestly, like, you know, a week before, you know, like, birth or some shit. You know, like, honestly, that's, like, okay, just fucking, like, get a, you know, just put it, you know, just do adoption. I don't really care if a woman shits out a baby or not, not a problem. Needs to be a choice, not that of the government. Yeah. We all agree on this, yeah. Because, like, the fact that, honestly, it has to be discussed in the first place because of maroons like this dipshit. Like, I mean, honestly, that's really, you know, fundamentally what, yeah, just, like, I mean, like, these dipshits are the ones who are having to, like, bring this stupid, you know, fucking shit back. Because, like, oh, you know, like, oh, I guess we have to, you know, go for the ringer about, like, you know, hey, here's why this shit's actually, you know, protective. It needs to be protected and fucking, like, enforced as, you know, rights. Because they're being revoked, especially in all these fucking different states. So, it's like, also a really nice, good, perfect distraction considering a lot of things like the rise of, you know, labor and shit and people being kind of disenfranchised with a lot of the current system as it is. So this is a good way to rile people up about it. You know, while, you know, being distracted on a lot of the more, you know, more core-rooted problems outside the Supreme Court at this point. If anything, that problem has been highlighted. Oh, sleepy.
And that's the thing. Like, if we call, you know, this has been used a lot, if we call cells on Mars life, I don't even saying, you know, little thing after you get, after sex is life, but a heartbeat is absolutely a life if we found life on Mars with, cells.
What? Why are you talking about, like, single-celled life on Mars? Like, what? I don't even think that's even been proven totally yet. I think it's just been theorized. So, like, what in the fuck is he even oh my god, dude. This dude literally just threw out, like, he literally grabbed, like, single-celled organisms from Mars out of his ass and was like, yeah, life. I mean, yeah, oh my god, what, dude, like, are we serious? Oh my god, okay, I'm what was that Earth thing you were wanting to, here, I know it's up here, there it is. Oh my god, I just could not handle that. Okay, after that, it was just like, oof. That was a oof. Wow. Zukov, what are you doing? Why? We might have found life on Mars, so we gotta ban abortion here. Shapiro impersonator 2022. For fucking real, man. Here, I'll do that, and there we go. Oh my god! Oh, yeah, sure. That kid! Ah! Oh god, I don't need that! Jesus! Fucking hell! Okay, we're just gonna really... Wow, oh my, okay, wow, I'm really pausing at the right, I'm pausing at the greatest times.
It looks like we're going to finally see justice for the unborn in this country, and
fuck off. Fuck off.
Finally, Roe v. Wade will be overturned and recognized as the egregious, disastrous decision.
Cameraman was a little wonky. Dude, wow, I feel like, you know, my friends, when they were trying to be cameraman, when it came to, like, the last few times I tried to make him do that, wow. Makes him actually legit look at least kind of okay in comparison. Besides one of them.
This is do you want me to look at you? Me. This is, I mean, you can tell this is an issue that's
for yourself, I'm guessing. A lot of people very passionate. Anything that you've ever found that you might say to someone from the quote-unquote other side that makes people stop and think, or something that, you know, I'm not accusing you of being a name caller, but I'm just saying like that's where it kind of goes pretty quickly. What's your most like successful argument that you've seen had?
Sure. So, so I run an organization.
Hold on. I need to get my talking points in order.
Called Rehumanize International, and we embrace something called the consistent life ethic, and that means we oppose aggressive violence against human beings at all stages of life in all circumstances. So it means that we are active, working to end violence in all forms, including abortion, but also the death penalty and police brutality and war and torture.
We might have, are we in danger of some human reproduction so incredibly difficult to achieve that we're facing an extinction? The way to talk about saving embryos at all costs is so confounding. I mean, it really is. Because, honestly, Rip City really does put it down correctly. It's like population increases require for unlimited growth under capitalism, because capitalism requires unlimited growth for consistent short-term profit, and for the maximization as such. And, yeah, and they honestly wanted to continue the maximization of impoverished people to use as, whoops, don't want to do that, to use as, you know, obviously as wage slaves, or just, yeah, in certain places, mainly in the global south, and certain developing or developed countries, full-on slave labor. And yeah, it is nihilistic, but that's literally what capitalism is about. But that's why, you know, there needs to be, you know, an outlet to break away from it. And break away from its fucking brainworm. U.S. 13th Amendment loophole. Yep. As much as Kanye West is kind of a weird, quirky nutball, like, I remember he made a tweet about, like, how the 13th Amendment is basically a way where slavery was still kind of kept in place in the U.S., and honestly, he's kind of right. That's why, as much as I, you know, think, you know, people like him are weird, odd, quirky nutballs, I mean, every now and then, I don't know.
More in the way if you try, bonehead.
The reason we have the highest incarceration rate in the world, yep, because then we could use them as free slave labor. And that's also why a predominant amount of people in prison tend to be black or minorities. If you can't literally do it via open landowner plantation, motherfuckers, do it via the prison system. It's also why disproportionately so many different minority communities, especially black communities, tend to be very heavily impoverished. Because they keep them stuck in that type of cycle. Where they can just be kind of cycle through the fucking prison slave system versus, you know, very legit, just open, outright fucking slavery. It's hidden away in the fucking prison system, you know, no one needs to look at it. No one does, unless they happen to just drive by near it. Because they usually happen to be out in the fucking rural areas and out of sight and out of mind, basically. And funny enough, it also ties into the whole idea of the Great Replacement shit, like people talk, like Tucker Carlson fucking espouse, because it just, you know, justifies and enables any vigilantism and criminalization of basically their existence. So it also justifies the idea of using them as slaves, and especially in the prison system. This is why so much of like the far right in this country is basically starting to be like really either borderline or outright fascist at this rate. And at this point, you know, just throwing it around isn't really, you know, seen as much of a problem in my mind anymore, considering how much of it is legitimately influencing, you know, national politics at this point. So it's like, I think it's, you know, safe to, you know, use that, you know, very frequently when it comes to a lot of fucking issues going on right now, and to the people that are espousing the shit that they do. Like, I mean, I don't know if you saw more next, but I saw a Dilla Burns video on YouTube that we went over yesterday. I really honestly don't want to play it again, because at least in the video, because obviously Dylan couldn't watch it on stream, I mean, so at least in post on the YouTube video, he put the audio clip in that, and Paul Joseph Watson, pretty much confirmed my suspicion, but, pretty much, him being a full-on fucking Nazi, going on, like, a tirade about, like, I'm just gonna put it very soft, the softest way possible. He's like, oh, I don't care about Jews or Palestinians or black people or anyone else. I only care about white people. Like, he basically said that, but in the most vulgar, racist, bigoted way you can literally, like, think of. If you can possibly conceive of that. Or if your brain will allow that, I guess. But, I mean, because he was basically like, I don't care about these, like, saying N-word, Jew, K-I-K-E, fucking, blah, 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 like, F-slur, the N-word this, like, he was literally going on, like, all over the place, and it's like, well, that sounds like a Nazi, like, outright, and it's not just him that fucking harbored those fucking views, like, like I said, like, people like Carlson, a lot of the people on Fox News at this rate, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Boebert, like, all these type of fucking people espouse it, McConnell, Cruz. It's like, even though they're not, like, openly fascistic, a lot of the ideas and a lot of what they're, pushing and advocating for just are. And honestly, at this rate, it's like, are we going to call a spade? Like, are we going to do that now? Because, I mean, at this point, like, a good chunk of the Republican Party, including the civilized ones, are pretty much, embrace the idea of being very fascistic, at minimal, or just outright, fascist at this point, with a lot of their ideologies. Like, McConnell's pretty fascist, same with Cruz, yeah. Like, while they might be more borderline fascist by being fascistic, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Matt Gaetz or fucking DeSantis, they're just straight fascist. Like, the Republican Party at this point is either just, at minimum, normalized it, and at worst, embraced it. So, like, I mean, while there is a big, strong root to that issue that, is more underlying than just, the ideology of fascism there, because, it's a part of the broader social wedge divides and shit to keep, a lot of the lower class strata divided. Because the reason why they embrace it so much is because it keeps a lot of the poor, lower class whites in this country, to be more susceptible to that type of fucking racist, brainwashed ideology and shit. And get more indoctrinated to those type of ideas. Isn't Matt Gaetz that pedophile asshole? Yeah. Yeah, he's also, like, one of the pedophiles. Lauren Boebert and Jim Jordan, or at least Jim Jordan's is also another one, who's very heavily affiliated with Matt Gaetz too, by the way. But yeah, he definitely needs to Epstein himself. Or, well, just get Epsteined, just in general. Either way. Doesn't matter to me. Himself, somebody else, who gives a shit? Just let it be the Epstein. An Epstein incident. In Minecraft, of course. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, considering just like the core root of how, they use this type of ideology to keep, essentially, at least the attempt is to get, random motherfuckers who are ostensibly like me, who are not as politically active or aware by any means, obviously, like I am, at least, and basically get them intertwined and basically ignorance, like blissfully ignorant and brainwashed into this fucking idea, thinking that is, where the purpose is. Because again, that's how you get fucking, boys like that fucking Nazi that slaughtered people in Buffalo. It's because of that shit. And it's like, if it wasn't there, would that kid, really have honestly done that? Or if there was at least something in place to actually stop him? Whether it was actually having a red flag, done on his background check when he fucking bought that gun, like, within like a day or two before doing that shit? And honestly, that makes me think, because I just recently got one myself, and it's like, I mean, how many motherfuckers that, you know, are out there that, you know, buy one, but then, like, are, like, pretty much, like, that close to being like that kid? You know, just after buying one, because they just feel like, oh, you know, because, you know, honestly, especially because it's new, you know, I've been, you know, tinkering around and playing with my, you know, new firearm a little bit. You know, well, not literally playing with it, but, you know, like, you know, tinkering with it, making sure, you know, check it out, you know, see how it works and stuff, without actually obviously shooting it, because that would be fucking dumb as shit to do, you know, so, like, I'm not gonna do that. But, like, I mean, it's just, like, it's just the idea that, like, you know, that there are so many different people that, you know, will get something like, you know, get that and be like, all right, you know, what day is a good idea to, you know, really, you know, start it, you know, like, you know, what is going to tick me off enough to just do that shit? Because honestly, like, you know, there's not a day that goes by where I'm like, man, this is still fucking, you know, it's like, man, you know, it's like, I'd be fucking this whack or something, you piece of shit, love it, you know, like, you know, like, that shit goes through my head, but honestly, it's like, I'm not going to be, like, going, you know, like, being in a situation where it's like, you know what, it's time to fucking, you know, go outside, go, like, fucking, you know, like, oh, the route of this type of shit, like, that's beyond insanity, and it just shows how failed, you know, our system has become, you know, and that's why there needs to be, like, you know, something, you know, to, you know, like, at least, you know, some sort of a new, you know, movement of sorts to try to weed people away from that. I mean, that's why, at least, you know, I'm, you know, gung-ho for labor as I am, because that's a very big bridge that, you know, like, as I say, you know, it's a rising tide that will raise all ships type of thing. Because at the end of the day, y'all need money for rent. Y'all need a little bit of bread on your fucking plate, right? So it's like, that's the biggest commonality of them all. Especially considering how our system, you know, really likes to make sure that, you know, that type of strata is kept very, you know, poor and very low. And then a lot of those type of folks get driven into these more extreme, radical fucking ideas. And, you know, into more fucking, straight up, like, either white nationalistic type of fundamental ideas, or, you know, just more, like, you know, even this little rise of, like, inceldom type of thing, you know, where people think, you know, like, oh, women and, you know, society and shit is filled, you know, all men and blah, 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 whatever the fuck, you know, with people like Elliot Rodgers and shit. I mean, you know, it's like these type of I mean, it's not really a coincidence that this type of shit is just on the rise and shit. It's because, I mean, especially in a country like ours, where that's going to be a lot more likely, considering, you know, a lot of our culture around guns being as flawed as it is, honestly. I mean, it's like, I wonder what tends to be the core roots of the issues. No one really wants to truly address them, though. Because it would be in the best interest of the entire establishment to make sure that doesn't happen. They'll throw little, you know, things here and there, like a little breadcrumb occasionally, but nothing that really fundamentally actually gets to the root of the issues. Like, I mean, like, Washington is, like, trying to do, like, magazine capacity things for, like, you know, guns and shit like that. It's like, that isn't, you know, and I'm thinking of that, I'm like, that doesn't tackle the root if you're trying to deal with things like mass shootings and, like, you know, people who, you know, obviously ought, you know, not to, you know, get guns and shit. It's like, that doesn't really do much. And at this point, there's actually been a lot of people coming to Oregon, because Oregon doesn't obviously have any laws on that type of stuff. And now pretty much, like, all sorts of people from Washington are coming to Oregon now, because, like, there's, you know, essentially a whole grandfathered in. If, like, you already own it, then, you know, it's whatever, you have it. So it's like, how is the state going to prove that somebody just bought, like, maybe like a 40-round mag for, like, their AR-15 or some shit, you know, to go shooting targets with or something like that? And it wasn't, you know, Washington bought one, it was from Oregon after the law was in place. Like, how are they going to prove that? I mean, so it's just like, it's just, it doesn't tackle the root of the problem. It's just a breadcrumb. It's like, guess what? These type of things are still going to happen because, you know, like, for example, if that kid did that in Washington or some shit, he could have just done it, you know, he could have just went to Oregon and got, like, you know, he probably could have gotten, like, the gun in Washington and went to Oregon and grabbed, you know, all the other stuff he needed and then just did his thing. I mean, it's just like, it doesn't get to the root of the actual issue there. It's always going to be a fucking breadcrumb. It's always, you know, going to be something that doesn't fundamentally change, you know, things for the better. It's always something that just puts a band-aid on things. It's like I was saying earlier about, like, you know, Churchill's quote. You can always rely on the Americans to do the right thing after they exhausted every other option. And it's just the fucking sad truth. Because then you get little bozos like this kid and fucking, you know, white nationalist Nazis like, you know, the Buffalo kid and shit. I mean, it's just like, I mean, our entire fucking Fed, like, government and how it fucking works, like, I mean, it really just seems like, how do you really truly fucking fix the issue, especially when you got, like, a Supreme Court that essentially has, like, a edict that guarantees and assures, like, the state being a full-on corporate oligarchy, where they say money's speech, and corporations are people. Supreme Court rule that. Seems like the Supreme Court has pretty much a grip on how American life functions and how the system operates. At least, you know, one example of what, you know, could fundamentally change for the better is maybe cutting the grip of the power that the Supreme Court has and essentially making them a, you know, just a stand-in, you know, something that's more figurative. That's just kind of there as like a symbol more so than an actual like force of power against us. Because evidently that's all they're there for now at this point. Clearly video games are to blame. Oh God. Clearly video games are to blame. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, dude. Oh. Dude, how old are those kids, man? Oh my God, dude. Oh, Jesus Christ. Man, what the fuck? Oh, I remember this picture. Dude, that guy, he had a fucking M60 machine gun like he was about to fucking go into fucking Huey and go out and nom, dude. About, like, you know, lay down a fucking clearing for an LZ, bro. Like, he looked like he was ready to fucking, like, you know, take out some VC or some shit, dude. You do? Yeah, I remember this picture. I remember this one specifically. Like, it was like big news like a few years back when it circulated. Oh my God. Ah, dude, she's got a babe. Oh my God, they got the babies involved. You know what? At least the little kid doesn't have one. They didn't give the little... Okay, you know what? At least these people are being a little better about it because they don't have all their little kids holding one either. And not all of them are holding them anyway. Like, they have them holstered. Like, this one's at least, like... It's still like, well, like, what the fuck is this lady, bro? Like, what the fuck is her? Like, what is going on here? She looks like a fucking... I don't even know. She's like, hey, Sonny, I'm about to take out some fucking MS-13. I tell you what, you son of a bitch. Like, what is going on there, man? And then he got, like, this, like, hot blonde fucking, you know, like, repping a 12 gauge or some shit. Like, damn, bro. Like, actually, like, you know, like, I'm kind of vibing with her fucking flex right there. Like, I don't know. But, oh, damn. But then he got, then he got, like, a double. All right. I mean, like, I mean, because I'm at least, like, partially, like, all right, you know, some go, at least, if it's an adult, like, you know, like, these people, like, they're at least adults. What is this kid doing? Is he trying to be like James Bond or some shit? Oh my God, what is this oh God, as I keep going further and further, it gets more, like, fucking pretentious. But, I don't know, like, there's, like, at least if it's an adult and at least they know how to kind of, like, you know, handle the firearm. And she does, you know, she's got some trigger discipline. She's not, you know, I can at least tell, you know, her finger ain't on the trigger and all that type of stuff. You know, she's, you know, so, I don't know. But, like, why make a weird family photo thing? Like, I wouldn't even do this. Like, yeah, maybe with yourself, like, you know, hey, I got a new thing or whatever. You know, like, I mean, if it's just you and you're an adult, whatever. But, like this shit, like, I mean, this is like, yo, like, even for me, dude, this is like, especially all the kids. Oh my God, man. This is like insanity. They can shove it, terrible parents. No, I mean, honestly, I agree. Especially this, like for, seriously, this is the worst. Oh my God, you can tell this one is a Karen. Oh my God, that's a Karen. That is a Karen. Oh my gosh, she has pink fucking, oh dude, that's so gross. Oh my God, I find that cringe. This is like, oh my God, she's the highlight. Like, she's the highlight of the cringe here, dude. She is the highlight. Because you can just see the God complex Karen in her. Oh my God, ugh. Like, this is absurd. Like, honestly, the one that's not the worst is this one, because at least the kid there is like 15. And at least they all look like they at least have, you know, proper gun safety type of rules in play. Like, this is literally the least offensive one. The rest of them are just like, what? This one especially, because if this is a fuller image, you can see that that is a full-on fucking machine gun. Like that was used in Nam and shit. Like, this is the worst, especially if you know the background behind this picture. Like, this one is, like, exceptionally cringe. This one is just horrible. This one is just bad, mostly because of the t-shirts. Like, this is horrible because of the shirts, mostly. Like, this one's what makes that cringe. This one is like, you're in a cult. Like, this one is basically a fucking family of cultists. Like, sweet Jesus. Like, if you try to take their guns away, like, they would literally go Branch Davidian's fucking, like, David, like, Kotesh or whatever the fuck his name was on your ass, dude. These people are the most insane. Holding gun, yay, pro-life. I know, man. Which honestly really does make the conclusion that this picture here is the least offensive one, because, you know, at least, like, predominantly adults, and there's at least a teenager, which at that point I don't necessarily think is bad as long as there's parental supervision. And I can also tell here with how he's holding the pistol, he also has got at least somewhat proper trigger discipline. I mean, he could probably point it away from his fucking foot, though. I mean, not point it all the way down, but whatever. I mean, you know, so, like, I mean, this one is straight, like, the pic of the pregnant woman holding a rifle or whatever. Oh, wait, where's that one? Where's that one? Oh, this one! Oh, I see it. Is it this one? Which one is it? I think it's that one, right? Yeah, I think that is. Yeah, it's this one, isn't it? Oh, yeah, you're right, I think. Yeah, because of that. Yeah. Wait, she's kind of old for it, though. Is she? Isn't she beggars? I don't know. Maybe she's doing, like, the... I don't know. Maybe she just has horrible fucking posture. She does not look... Like, honestly, the daughter right here, I would assume would be pregnant. Maybe she's just kind of pudgy. Oh my God, dude. Is she the one of the fucking, like, you know, 24-pack Bud Light beer belly? Is she, like, the one of the... Oh my God. You'd think the husband would. She could be McDonald's status. Oh my God, dude. You're probably right. What the fuck, man? Yeah, honestly, like, out of all 6 of them, dead ass, this one right here is the least offensive. That's just my opinion. All, like, I mean, at the end of the day, they're all kind of cringe, but this, I think, you know, is the least cringe. Because there's no little kid being fucking, you know, all up in this shit. I mean, the kid's at least a teenager. I think with parental supervision, I think it's okay. I mean, I don't think they should own any, but, I mean, if, you know, parental supervision type of thing, I think it's okay for them to be around them, I guess. Or at least, you know, some form of supervision just in general. But, like, you know, out of the, like, but the rest of them, I, like, oh my God. I mean, I guess this one's the second least offensive, but it's still, like, what the fuck. I mean, they're all what the fuck either way, but, ugh, what the fuck, man. Because I wouldn't even do this shit. Like, just, like, no one, because fundamentally, no one gives a fuck if your family's all got, like, you know, like, who cares? Wah. Like, I mean, you know, if you want to have, like, if you know you got, like, some buddies and shit like that, and you want to share with them or whatever, like, cool, good for you. But, like, you know, take your buddies out shooting, you know, have fun and all that fucking shit. But, like, like, no one cares if you're blasting on social media and shit. I mean, I don't go fucking, you know, blasting my shit all the goddamn time. Like, I have both of them right here, but I don't give a fuck. They're just there. Like, whatever. I'm not gonna be like, ooh. check it out. Ooh, did you know that? And just go on and like some weird fucking like, you know, factoid rant about it. Like, whatever. What exactly motivates an entire family to not only have a gun, but be so enthusiastic about them that you're snapping family photos with them? And see, that's what I think it's, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it's like a full-on red flag, but it's really seriously fucking, kind of odd. Tribal culture, white privilege. I don't necessarily think it's a white privilege thing, because honestly, I mean, there could definitely be, you know, black families that will do this type of shit. I mean, there's probably, I'm sure you could probably find some pictures like that, you know, of black families doing the same thing. But, so I think it's more so of like some tribal thing. Well, find one. I mean, not literally like this. I mean, like, you know, just like, hey, you know, here's me with my guns and stuff, you know, whatever. Because, I mean, there's black gun owners, you know, like you know, that's different, you know, there's like different YouTube channels that I've seen, of different, you know, black gun owners that will share their shit. I mean, it's not common, but, you know, it's still something that, you know, that would happen. A better type of family, where the kid loses a gun in McDonald's play area, and they're just like, don't worry, Aiden, we'll buy a new one. That level of cringe doesn't exist for non-whites. Well, the thing is, the difference is they're not sharing it around willy-nilly like this weird shit. Like, you know, it's just like, you will have, like, you know, families, you know, black people that might have some guns and stuff, but they're not going to be like this about it. I should add that caveat, you know, they're not going to be like this about it. Like, I mean, you know, but the idea of, like, you know, like, maybe the equivalent of maybe, like, again, like, the least offensive variant, like this, you know, but not literally like that, obviously. But just like, you know, because again, these people have the weird fucking idea that, like, everyone has to be absolutely fucking enthusiastic about that shit. But, I mean, there's definitely, you know, instances where you'll see it around, but it's usually not families either. It's usually like, you know, somebody's like, yeah, here's my gun, yeah, and all that shit. Which, you're gonna see that anywhere. Still saying it's not a thing like whites. Yeah. I mean, if anything, it would be more like, you know, something you would probably see if you have, like, you know, some different families, you know, like a Mexican village, or like, hey, you know, we're taking up arms against, like, this drug cartel because we had enough of their shit, because that type of shit straight up happened. And you'll have, like, these families who'll be like, yay, we have our village again, we actually have total control, and we can have, like, you know, our lives back to some extent, you know? So it's like, you'll see different instances like that shit, but again, it's not like this type of shit. If anything, there's legitimate, like, you know, common purpose for that type of thing. And again, yeah, totally different reasons. It's toxic gun culture, yeah. And even me, like someone that likes likes guns and, you know, doesn't mind, you know, gun culture to a point. This is where this is like beyond the line I draw. Like, this is like, what the fuck? Like, this is what I would consider, especially this picture. Like literally everybody, like, in this picture, I would consider red flag alert if they had a background check. Because, oh my god. Especially this bitch. Like, this bitch right here is like red flag, like, all the way. Red flag all the way. And all these people are literally red. But, like, oh my god, this is like some cult shit right here. This is like some cult shit. Like, that's just a cult. You know, they're all part of a church that does the exact same type of shit. They're probably a part of that church that, like, you know, has all their guns, like, adorned, and they have, like, crowns that are literally made out of bullets and shit. They're probably a part of that fucking cult. Which, by the way, literally all of those people need to have their shit taken away. But I don't know how you're gonna do that without literally having, like, you know, the Branch Davidian, like, Waco 2 Electric Boogaloo happen on your ass. Like, honestly, like, cause the. Oh my god. Okay, I need to stop looking at these pictures, because Jesus Christ, that's just like, it's just more disturbing the more I look at that fucking thing. See, I just preferred, like, you know, shit like this, where you have, like, somebody like, hey, look, a cool little vintage, you know, 22 revolver thing, you know, here's what it looks like, check it out, it's kind of cool. Like, this is, like, the gun culture I'm fine with, where you have, like, you know, people that just kind of show and check type of shit out, and just, like, you know, just, you know, kind of just casually be like, yeah, here's some cool stuff, and, you know, kind of learn a little bit about some things. I guarantee if I click that, you know, there'll probably be some knowledge bombs on, you know, what that little 22 revolver is. You know, for, you know, like, I mean, it's like, that's what I'm about. It's like, yeah, here's some cool stuff, you know, learn some things about, like, a gun or something like that, and just whatever, you know, it's like, just make it some casual thing, instead of, like, whatever weird cult shit that those motherfuckers are doing. Because, honestly, that's just straight up red flag shit in my mind. Because there's, like, a difference between, like, having, like, a little YouTube channel sharing things like that, like that was just there, versus being, like, some weird amosexual cult motherfucker that's like, you won't take him away from me or else everybody around you will die, or some shit. Like, there's just a way major fucking difference. Like, cause honestly, I mean, I remember when I was picking my shit up, like, cause when I was there was like some other dude who was like saying some straight up some questionable shit, and I'm sitting there like, yeah, I just want this, and you know, I'm ready to purchase it and pick it up and stuff. Hey, so what are you doing? What are you chewing on that for? No. I'm just like, yep, I'm interested in that. Here's the money for it, you know, and all that shit, and just went for the process, and there you go, like, whatever. Had a casual conversation about just literally random shit. I just wanted the process done out of the way. Like, I didn't give a fuck about, like, you know, talking about random other gun shit that much. I was just like, I just want to mine it out. I just wanted to get mine out the door. Like, but like but like, I mean, because there is like a weird thing about like conservatives where I've seen this multiple times now, where like I'll go up to the gun counter, you know, check a shit out, whatever the fuck. And these dudes want to just like go on about all this other shit. I'm talking about like the customer side of things, and obviously, you know, the gun counter dudes are gonna be knowledgeable on this shit, so it's always like this back and forth, just like, oh my god, just buy the gun and just get it over with. Like, fuck, don't have like a 5-hour conversation and like get nothing done in between and have a line build up. It's like, fuck. It's like, Jesus, like, they just, like, it's like, oh, yes, you know, I got this, that, it's like, no one cares, just get in, get out. Boo-boo, yeah.
Want to come stink out here? Jeez.
The derp is hard to take. It really is. It just is. Like, part of it is derp, but, you know, there is just, you know, so many different elements of just, like, suspectness. And also, I just wish that, you know, there was, like, a more of a reform and a difference on, and a change on how, like, gun culture is in this country, because, you know, it's like, there shouldn't be, like, an issue necessarily of just having them if you want one, but, like, this weird fucking, like, just obsession and fucking, like, just how it is right now with the culture about it. It's just, ugh. It's just absurd. And it just gets legit kind of very cult-like, where, like, because I even saw, like, another thing where it's just like, oh, you know, any gun law is infringement on your rights. It's like, how? Like, in what way? Like, in what specific, you know, type of law? Like, I mean, just gun law could literally mean anything. It can mean, like, basic background checks and licensing, or it can mean, you know, like, anything. I mean, so it's like, what is it, like, you know, what, like, how? You know, it's like in some, I mean, it's like in what way? You know, it's like in certain ways, maybe, I guess. I mean, but it depends on the specificity of what we're talking about there, then. So it's just like, confusion. Mass confusion there. But it's also just like a very hardcore, like, libertarian Andy take type of shit, where it's like, literally anything that's a law is an infringement on you. Boo! And it's just so stupid. It's like, guess what? You know, laws sometimes aren't there to literally straight up fucking like infringe you or some shit. Maybe it's maybe it's actually there to kind of protect you from being infringed. It's like, But yeah, they probably want to get that, or just don't care to get it, or just won't. Because they're too dumb. London's been running play a comment SS March called the 47th. That's about 2020 election between Kamala and Trump. Oh my god. Why do I swear to God, if there's like any truth to like that fucking reality, and that happens, oh my god. Those fucking T-taxers. Are they actually gonna like predict what's gonna happen over here? Because honestly, that is a dice roll that is possible for that. That's the fucked up thing. That's like a straight up dice roll that we are plausible to have. Like, that's a possibility. It's just like, what the fuck? Oh no, man. Oh, I don't want it. I don't think Harris could win the nomination. She's too unpopular. Establishment Dems to choose Buttigieg over her. And even then, he's not even really that much popular. I mean, I guess more so than Harris, but who gives a fuck about him? Over a VP? Maybe. I mean, I've heard about, like, rumor mills, you know, with inside Biden's administration, how they're kind of like, hey, you know, we kind of want to, you know, try to get rid of Harris because she's just too unpopular. We want to try to replace her, blah, 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 blah. It's a terrible candidate, but also not quite as bad as Harris. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean, honestly, they're all kind of relatively equivalent at this rate. They all serve the interests of the same type of fucking people, so, I mean, yeah, they might... I guess Buttigieg would be better because he'll probably actually offer at least something worth a fuck of a breadcrumb. But, you know... Because Harris definitely won it. Replace Harris with Buttigieg as VP, fucking clown show. Oh my god. Here comes the clowns. I suppose maybe it isn't necessarily an immediate solution to the whole, like, issue with the national politics of things, but at least just starting to try to take more of a hyper-focused approach on things like local and statewide type of action, because especially very soon and, you know, in the immediate future, that's going to need to be a priority anyway.
Yes.
Like, that's definitely, you know, something that, you know, especially, you know, early on, definitely needs to be, you know, more focused on at this point, especially from people on the progressive left and just leftists in general. Because if not, then, you know, this type of shit's just going to continuously get worse unless, you know, this type of momentum that we're starting to see already, you know, with the whole Roe v. Wade thing as it is, get more traction and honestly, frankly, get a little more radical. Make more of a statement and make more of a fucking point with this shit. Because so far, you know, there is, but doesn't seem like nearly enough. Because, I mean, as far as I know, the whole, like, reversal of it hasn't even officially happened yet. It's just, you know, been leaked as it stands right now. So, if there actually was more of a point, you know, to really put some pressure to reverse that idea, considering what consequences could be if they did, I mean, maybe they might, you know, change their mind, or at least enough of them would. Which is also why, you know, a lot of people on the right are trying to focus on the leak, because basically they know that basically implies that, now that people are aware of this, people are now, well, pissed off as it stands now. So that means, we're going to need to try to get the law on them if they start getting more rabble-rousing and aggressive and shit. Because now they're trying to essentially get in people's minds, mainly the pro-lifers, to also, ramp up on the whole cop narrative too. Because if there is instances of them getting more aggressive, then they can justify more aspects of police brutality, and then also that would be another issue that would get brought up again. Because now, cops would be, basically suppressing a bunch of pro-choice women's rights activists and shit. And obviously that would not fucking look good on media, and that would make people even more pissed, because now we're ramping up another fucking issue when it comes to police brutality. So now you got two for on your hands. So, I mean, it could legit, ramp up into something way more than a lot of the fucking people on the right wanted. Because they just wanted to have it happen and have people be caught off guard with it. They didn't want that leak. That's why they focused on it so much. Even though whoever fucking leaked it at this point is a fucking hero, because at this point they got people pissed off early. So if they actually do fucking do it, which is still very highly likely that they are just going to do that, then, well, people are just going to be even more exceptionally fucking pissed. Taking action before the hammer falls. Yeah, I mean, I really do, fundamentally agree with that. Hence why, trying to start taking more focus on local and statewide action, especially with direct actions, should be more of the priority. Because that also intertwines in these type of things like civil rights and women's rights and shit, because obviously these various different Republican states are going to be heavily targeting that type of shit, on top of LGBTQ rights, as they already have been. So it's just like, I mean, especially if they start hitting this type of shit, people are just going to start, getting a little bit more focused on direct action, especially locally in their different states, to try to stop this, or at least fight back against it in any way they can. And in states that already have these type of protections in place, like Oregon or California, for example, they might legit, actually find ways to help out and fund these type of people, or at least different organizations or groups in those fucking states. Like, I know there would definitely be a lot of nonprofit or different political activist groups in Oregon, for example, that would probably, I'm not saying they would, but it's likely that they probably would help donate and at least invest in the ventures of the different groups in places like in these states that are trying to suppress women's rights and shit. If they already haven't, unless they have maybe more like an international umbrella chain, to some of these different organizations, like Sunrise movement, for example. Because I think they're like a whole global movement, but there's a local chapter here in Portland, for example. So, Sukov, would you leave the cat alone? Come here. Get over here. Quit annoying the kitty. There's a majority of people in this country that own a lot of money and like to spend it at places that are a complete piece of crap. Well, I mean, investing money into these organizations, specifically in these states that are trying to fight back against the government of the state trying to suppress them. It's not literally going into coffers of, the people that are owning this type of, or, operating or influencing this type of shit. Like, for example, like, I mean, if, there's like different chapters of the Sunrise movement in places like in Alabama or Texas or some shit, like, yeah, there should be money invested into those different chapters to help, try to make their reach and influence a little bit more stronger there. I'm just saying them as an example because I know they're a global organization as much as a national one here. So I'm just kind of putting them in as just an example, at least for the argument's sake. How far states are willing to take things and continue to drive businesses out of the state because of the non-rights of half the population? I guess we'll see. There's been different examples where states have, reversed course on certain shit, because I know there's like states like Alabama that did like hyper crackdowns on things like immigration or economy, like fucking it heavily suffered because of that, and had to basically reverse course and essentially start bringing immigrants back into their state because their economy suffered too much because of the lack of workers from that. I mean, I know politicians like money. Yeah. I mean, I guess honestly, you know, it depend on, like, you know, if they think they can try to get more investments from like these different more conservative leaning business owners and shit. But I don't think it wouldn't be nowhere near enough. Sorry, backpedal a little bit. Yeah. I mean, in time, but I mean, it would have to take a little bit more than that, though, especially if you want to try to get it as quick as possible in these different type of states. Which is why I think at least investing into different organizations that are fighting back against this type of shit, you know, is more preferable, because they're not going to just, you know, put their money into, you know, just different shit into that state. You know, they're going to put that money in for themselves and invest it into themselves, you know, trying to, you know, have more power against this type of shit. And reverse course on them reversing course. You know, so it's just like reverse the reverse course. You know, so I mean, that's just, you know, that's a part of the priority, and yeah, at least when it comes to the whole aspect of direct action, that's a part of it. It's trying to at least, you know, put the money where it matters more, instead of like some random senator that, you know, is probably just going to be like the rest of them or some shit, like some corporate schmuck. Unless you got someone that's at least, you know, somewhat of an outsider like John Fetterman or some shit. Unless you actually get the rare gem that might actually be worth a fuck. But outside of that, I mean, until you actually have the means in place, or at least have somebody in place that can be like that, I mean, at this point, it isn't really worth much of the time until, you know, we have more of a, at least, you know, we as, you know, different progressives and lefties and shit have more of an influence in those different places that have an opportunity to bring that type of, you know, person forward. Argues worth a fuck. Yeah, I do think Fetterman is worth a fuck. I've seen a couple of his ads and seen what he's about. You know, and honestly, it's like, all right, you know, if he's talking the talk and is willing to walk it, you know, as much as he talks it, I mean, he seems like he would actually be a good little element, you know, to rock the boat, and that's good. You know, so because I remember one thing where it's like, you know, people are starting to converse, they're starting to talk, you know, in their, you know, communities and their union halls and this and that, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, oh really, you're specifically mentioning things like union halls and shit. I haven't heard a political ad mention shit like that in like ever, honestly, at least recently. So it's like, so he's definitely perked my ear up, you know, especially considering what he advocates for. Definitely more of a pro-union guy for sure. So, you know, yeah, like you say, time will tell. But honestly, I think, you know, when it comes to people like him, at that point, at least he's worth the gamble. That's why people like, you know, Bernie are worth the gamble and shit like that. When it comes to electoralism where it counts, you know, I think, you know, it's worth to try to at least take that gamble. But if not, just, it's more better to prioritize, you know, the investment and efforts and action, you know, into more local efforts. You know, it's until there's, you know, somebody from that type of shit to get better. Because, you know, like, for example, our local city mayor is now going into a potentially a state legislator. I've voted for him, and I'm going to make sure my ballot gets turned in tomorrow. And I honestly do hope he actually wins that seat, because that's him stepping up in that type of influence, and especially from what he's done being his mayor here, yeah, at least, you know, especially from what I've seen, including just right outside of my damn street, you know, I can show that he's worth a fuck, and it's proven not just to us, you know, citizens in Milwaukee here, but, you know, can prove to other Oregonians, like, he's worth his shit, and it's worth his salt. And honestly, I hope that he continues to climb up that ladder and gain a little more influence, and maybe be in Congress, or even better, maybe Senate or some shit, you know, or governor even. It's like something, because at that point, you know, like, there would actually be, you know, that just more of a shift, you know, further into from our more national political system, where if he decides to, you know, to get more into that type of metric. I suppose I don't necessarily know what his, like, long-term goal is outside of just probably just making Oregon especially just better for Oregonians, especially the county that he's in. And honestly, at least so far, he's proven that he actually means that and is actually walking that shit. So it's just, I mean, it's examples like that, you know, where it's like, hey, it works. And it shows that, you know, direct action doesn't necessarily absolutely eschew electoralism too. It just means that, you know, until there's at least something that's truly viable, then, you know, like, let's actually, you know, focus on the ground to, you know, build up more momentum to get somebody there that can be worth that type of shit. And it's not like it doesn't happen, because it happens. I mean, constantly dotted throughout the country. So it's just like, it's about just trying to focus and, you know, try to, you know, push these type of people through. And does that mean there'll be a victory every time? Of course not. I mean, you know, leftists are pretty known for, I guess, losing a lot in America and shit, but that's not, you know, for naught. At least there is, you know, some of attempt of a try, but it's just, you know, there needs to be more focus and more unification on that type of issue. Too much fighting, too much, like, you know, bullshit about, like, oh, we need to, you know, maybe do, like, the blue no matter who, just vote harder, this and that, blah, blah, like, all this other shit, just, you know, just too much that, you know, is trying to keep, you know, shit divided away from at least trying to legit focus on how do we actually try to make things better for ourselves. Federal Dems are so fucking incompetent. Like, all the candidates are either jokes, have major scandals, are corrupt, or have major medical issues. Seriously, or like a combination of any of those, really. Like, I mean, honestly, it's like either they're a combination of one of those things, or, you know, hell, even all of them sometimes in some instances. And it's just like, how in the fuck do we even, like, deal with this? It's like, what? Like, we're expected to just, quote, vote harder for that? Especially when you have, like, the Speaker of the Democratic, like, House and shit, or whatever the fuck, you know, being like, we need a stronger Republican Party, because then we could try to reason with them. It's just like, what? It's like, opposed to them being weak and fiddle at, like, right now? Like, it's like, yeah. Jesus Christ. Major joke. Corrupt as fuck. She definitely got some medical issues one way or another. And a lot of scandals. Yeah, so she's definitely all of those, at least. We make things better for ourselves. Blue no matter who. Blue lots of money on our coffers. And we get to compromise with the fascists without being held accountable for it. Yay! Essentially. I mean, I'll say this at least, you know, you know, like a lot of this type of, you know, protesting against this type of shit, I do think, you know, is at least, you know, influenced by people like Bernie and shit. So it's like, it does, you know, there are people out, you know, in the national scheme of things that do count, and it's like, man, there is a way to get more from there, because obviously it's possible, or else those outsiders, the legitimate ones who actually mean a shit, you know, like, you know, they wouldn't have been there in the first place. And the establishment loathes the fact that they're there anyway. So it's like, well, how do we get more of them there? Because, you know, evidently they're going to do literally anything and everything in their power to stop it, and they probably didn't realize, you know, that with Bernie and shit, when he first was able to get into the offices that he was. Because he's like, oh, well, he's just kind of out there. You know, he's just kind of, you know, the one dude from Vermont. Well, 2015 told you that otherwise, huh, establishment? And then they ensured to make sure he didn't get farther up the chain. Oh, shit. God damn it. Which honestly is just, you know, the most unfortunate fact about it. But it just proved, and, you know, and shows that we still, you know, need to have a more stronger movement of at least, you know, people at minimal like Bernie, and at best even further. We need young candidates that grew up in our generational area. Yeah. I mean, honestly. I mean, because even Mark Gamba, for example, like, he's not exactly a young buck. I mean, he's definitely an older fellow. I mean, so honestly, there really needs to be more activism when it comes to a lot more of the younger folk and shit. And, you know, and honestly, even, you know, like, even if it's not necessarily in, like, you know, a local government sphere, like, even if it's in, like, you know, union, you know, action type of stuff, like, you know, when it comes to the union politics, so to speak. Like, you know, having, like, you know, some young bucks, you know, get involved in, you know, younger people getting involved in, like, union organization or being union reps and shit like that. Like, you know, that type of shit, which is honestly what I'm trying to, you know, get involved in more. It's just like, it's like, I mean, I'm just wondering if, you know, gonna, you know, try to get back on me with some of the shit, because I'm pitted up a few different times about it. And especially all this other shit going on, I'm gonna be calling them up this weekend on my day off, be like, so, we haven't got our things yet. Plus, also, I'm trying to be a shop steward amongst other different things, and blah, blah, blah. Also, I haven't met you yet, Uni Rep. Can I meet you? I haven't actually met her yet. I mean, I know she's been at my shop before, but not when I'm there. It's just like, oh. Because I actually want to meet this person and kind of get in gist of who she's about. Spending linear downward slope percentage of well found by each 6 generation in Canada, and the more likely they'll be open to listening to new ideas. Yep. And also be a little bit more opening to the idea of things that would change the system, where them as younger folk would have more wealth and influence and more upward mobility, so to speak. Just more social mobility, period. I mean, even to more conservative-leaning type of younger folk, they tend to be a little bit more open towards ideas about, like, you know, social mobility and shit. Even if they want it mainly just for themselves, basically. You know, for, like, the more conservative types. Because if they have it, obviously they're going to want it and keep it. It's like the conservatives that harp about social welfare and shit like that, but yet they have social security or something. Or like food stamps or some shit, and they're like, but at the same time they're like, welfare, blah, blah, blah. It's like, but it's like, are you on food stamps? It's like, are you on social security? It's like, huh? It's like, well, yeah, cause I, like, it's like, oh, it's as if it's there for people that earn it, / qualify for it. It's not that you earned it, it's that you qualified for it, you dip. At least when it comes to things like food stamps. Kingsland water tower shot silhouette of Johnny. Wait, what? Water tower shot silhouette of Johnny Cash struck in a sensitive spot. What the fuck? Oh no! I'm the king, baby. I'm gonna just... Arkansas's best news source? Get out of here. I'm the king, baby. That's right, baby. I'm the king. I'm gonna be pissing where I please, baby. I tell you what. You didn't see that in the Telegram? Oh, wait, you linked it in the Telegram too? Demonetized. Dude, that's such... I mean, who's the moron that fucking shot... Like, who's the fucking... who's the fucking Elmer Fudd motherfucker that's like, oh, I'm just gonna shoot my gun around and bleh. And then it fucking, you know, straight bullet hits the goddamn water tower. Like, oh my god, what chucklefuck needs to be like... Oh my god. Wow. I honestly kind of low-key hope that gets fucking fixed ASAP. Like, dead ass. Mostly for the water. I like it for the meme. It's funny. What a maroon. What a maroon, dude. All I can say is nice shot. I can guarantee you the person was like miles away and just shot randomly because he was probably drunk and wanted to plink some rounds in the air or some shit like a moron, and fucking just a straight bullet hit, and it just happened to be a perfect, you know, trajectory. Like with the velocity and the angle of the shot and everything, it just happened to be perfect. If you guys shoot, you gotta make it funny, I guess. I mean, maybe, yeah, it could be the idea that somebody maybe walked up and just like, boom, just gonna shoot it, make it be funny. Wow, what a maroon. They couldn't find like a billboard that had something like that or some shit. Like, oh my god, what an idiot. Some guy out drinking and started talking shit about it. Next thing you know, bam. He's all knocked out. Oh, so cute. You don't think I'd do it? You don't think I'd do it, you son of a bitch? You know I would. Blah. Blah. It isn't supposed to rain until tomorrow night. Yay! Hopefully get Thunderbird purring like a Sukavo. I mean, Sukavo doesn't really purr. He just does. Well, actually, I've felt him kind of like rumble a little bit when I kind of, you know, give him scritches and shit like that, or he'll be like. So I think he's kind of caught the idea of cats purring and will actually kind of do that himself a little bit in his own weird doggo way. The cat's doing well. I know. I know. Little freakazoid. Zook off, you little freakazoid. Freakazoid. The bandito taco. Bandito sensei. Hey, bandito sensei. Yes. Here, seeing what random little things I can find on tube, you know. Okay, let's see. Is there? Oh, ooh, Zeus, Weirdo, and Criminal. Ooh, it's a Deep Fat Fried episode about Zeus, dude. Dude, Zeus is such a fucking, like... He is just a fucking absurd dude, man. What if you got home one day, Bandito Sukavo just sprawled on your bed with your weed just fluttering about everything? I mean, without the weed, I have actually stumbled in on that a little bit. Because Bandit will be in my room trying to get out from my window, and Zukov will also be in the room as well. That's actually happened. It's not exactly a very pleasant experience, because, again, there's no weed involved. But, yes. Here.
Zeus! God of gods, ruler of the skies.
Oh shit. I'm gonna be the 420th like. Boom, baby. Like 420, baby. Oh, let's go. You know what? Damn. You know, I just woke up the neighborhood. Yep. Zeus!
Of thunder, wielder of lightning.
Also, total sluts. The sex life of Zeus.
Hold up, we gotta see this. Look at this meme, oh my god. Zeus has an anime waifu, bro. Zeus, any woman nymph minding her business. Is this someone I can sleep with? Marriage counseling? Oh my god.
Sluts. The sex life of Zeus gets deep
fat fried. Deep fat fried. Dun 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 dun.
Such a sassy bitch, TJ. You gotta focus in on the most mundane thing about Zeus. And of course he got bitches. He's the king of the gods, dude. Of course he got everybody that he ever wanted to fuck. He got them.
Yep, that's true.
He got them
because
bitches.
He's the king of the gods.
I mean, that's true, and, I mean, it makes sense, but, you look at most mythology, most iterations of deities, you don't really find too much, oh, and they got laid all the time, like, you don't hear about Yahweh or Jesus,
Not,
you don't hear
not
about...
in, like, the more modern Abrahamic religion. There still are people in there that
honestly, in, like, Norse mythology and shit, there's a lot of fucking going on. Like, Loki literally literally transitioned into a female mare and got gazoinked by a horse. So, like, a dead ass. That's in some Norse mythology. Like, honestly, Loki is actually, strangely, a little bit more related to Zeus than Thor would be, despite the whole God of Thunder shit. I'm just being honest with that one.
Yeah.
The what, Lamau? I'm not kidding, dude. I'm not kidding. That's actually in the lore. And he gave birth to Hel and fucking Fenrir and Sleipnir. Well, not Hel, but Fenrir and Sleipnir, and I think a few other, like, it's convoluted, man. Dude, these weird old ass mythologies are weird.
Vines and stuff, yeah.
Well, it used to be the gods got all the sex, and man was like, I wish I could be a god. Then it's like, wait a minute, you can have all kinds of sex too.
Then they just decided, then people got bitter, like, ugh. They got to the point where they're just like, I just want them to ban sex because I can't get any. So Christianity is basically like proto-incel shit is what I'm saying to you.
Christianity, pro-incel.
In Greek mythology, Zeus is the god of the sky, thunder, rules over Mount Olympus as king of the gods. Zeus's many symbols include the thunderbolt, the eagle, the bull, oak, bunch of generic fucking bullshit. You know fucking Zeus, goddammit. I don't need to sit here and fucking tell you who the fuck Zeus is, okay? You know, he lives on Mount Olympus, he fucking throws lightning bolts down, he's the gods. Who fucking doesn't know the fucking Zeus?
He's top dog. He's top dog, dude.
We get it. So, you don't need all that fucking bullshit. Before we begin,
He's
I want to
top
clarify,
daddy.
there's dozens of versions of these fucking myths, of course. A bunch of different fucking iterations of every fucking story. In some stories he does this, in some stories he does that, etc., etc. So these are not like, I don't know why anyone would think that there's like a canon mythology, but, in case there's some dumbass like, that's not how this story goes. My mythology book said blah, 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 blah. It's mythology. There's tons of different versions. Fuck you. Shut up.
Tons of versions. Shut up.
Bullshit and different.
I mean, no, for real though.
Versions of the same goddamn story. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Kind of sad. I feel like Christianity season 1, Yahweh was kind of like Zeus a lot, like very vengeful and showed his power off a lot, and then he became kind of a pussy in season 2.
Yeah, season 2, Yahweh was a
and then
bitch.
the show got canceled.
Became a fucking bitch.
When the main character dies, where do you go from there?
Well, it was on a cliffhanger though, because remember Jesus was like, "I will be back," And
yeah, the cliffhanger, man.
And it's like, where's season 3?
Season 3 never came.
Season 3's Quran, bro. I mean, it's just that no one likes to fucking, go with it because they're like, oh, it's not canon, bro. That's not real canon, guys. We don't follow that. It's not the real canon of the seasons, bro. This reboot is actually pretty lame, bro. Like, I mean, but technically, if you want to be technical, that's the season 3 that no one wants to talk about.
You're just like, season 3's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. You just wait, bitch.
It's coming, guys. Don't you worry.
It's like the Half-Life 3
It's supposed to
fans,
drop
dude.
2,000 years ago, though, dude. It's still not happened.
It's coming.
Don't worry, season 3 is coming back.
Well, watch them fucking bring it back and totally Dexter that motherfucker, though. Jesus comes back. but
Dexter it.
Oh, goddamn, Seems like it's going good for a fucking few episodes, but then it fucking has a terrible ending. Jesus rips off his mask. He's like, I was Satan the whole time. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Dude, that would be based. That would actually be based.
Stupid.
So what's season 4? The Book of Mormon, and season 5 is Scientologist. Where does a monk fit in this discography? Probably, probably pre-season 1. It's like a prelude. I don't know.
Plot twist could be too, though. They try to kill
Epilogue?
Jesus, like, that's not really Jesus, and then God's all like, you know what, now I'm gonna punish you motherfuckers. Then season 4 is just the destruction of humanity.
Oh.
That'd be cool.
Damn.
Anyway, family sex. Cronus and Rhea.
Uh-oh.
That's who we're looking at here. So, Zeus was the son of Cronus and Rhea. And, Zeus thought his mom was pretty hot, apparently. Whoa. So, he wanted to fuck his mom. Because, Zeus, I guess, when you're Zeus, there's not a lot of boundaries for you and shit. You don't really give someone's like, that's gross, you just lightning bolt them or something. So, you don't have, these moral lines and shit that we have.
What are you doing?
So, Zeus is like, I'm gonna fuck my mom, right? Not only do you want to fuck her, you want to marry her. It's like, I want to marry mommy. I want to marry my mommy.
Oh, God. Dude, Zeus is a little,
Freud normalized this shit, though.
Right.
Zeus was just like the rest of us. We are all trying to marry our mothers in one way or another,
Yeah, on some symbolic level at least.
Paul.
Sure.
So anyway,
Paul?
He wants to fuck her. Disgusted by this, she's like, I'm not into the whole incest thing. Please, go find somebody else. So she shape-shifted into a serpent.
Imagine that, you're one of your family is just like, I want to fuck you, and you're just like, nah, I'm just not about the incest stuff. Can you, just go find somebody else, please? Yeah, thank you. It's you wouldn't immediately be like, oh wait, what? you wait, what? What now?
Having to fuck her son, basically. Because he was just relentless. Fuck me, mom. Fuck me. She's like, ugh.
So far, Zeus is an incestuous fucklust freak. Okay, wow.
No.
No.
By the way, whenever you hear one of these guys, these white supremacist dudes, our culture has become too degenerate, blah blah blah. This is the all-white.
Yeah.
Mythology and culture that they're talking about.
Yeah, same with Norse mythology when Loki literally transitions into a female horse. So Loki's trans, at least selectively, I guess. And also Otherkin, where he will also become a horse. And other different things, because he's also known as a shapeshifter. So he's actually, canonically Otherkin, basically. He could shapeshift into whatever the fuck he wants, essentially. So hence, canonically, he's basically actually, Loki's just non-binary. He identifies as him, but essentially he's actually just a non-binary shape-shifting otherkin fucking dude. But it's just they wouldn't want to tell you about that. They're like, oh, that's not how it is. It's bro, shut up. You know it is. Fuck you. It's Loki is literally a non-binary, trans furry otherkin shapeshifter. Get over it. Trans rights are Loki's rights as well, bitch.
When we pure white blood, whatever bullshit. This is what this is their shit right here, right? So.
Yep.
Anyway.
Funny enough, it's kind of a lot of weird sexual degeneracy. From 1.5 years ago, this is even more based. I know, dude.
As well, because he can I can do that shit too, bitch.
It also kind of undermines the whole idea about the whole oh, it was always man and woman, because evidently humanity wouldn't have created gods who are essentially shape-shifting, otherkin, trans, non-binary, all this basically in modern day sense this type of shit. It's and have it as a very normal thing. Evidently, that would not be the case, if it was just man and woman, and that was it. Obviously, a lot of early human societies must have thought different ideas about that type of shit, for that to be the case. So, kind of undermines the whole premise, from the fucking get-go.
What do you mean by turning into a serpent? I can do that shit. I'm a serpent. And then he fucks her as a serpent. Non-consensually, too. So not only did he fuck his mother, but he raped his mother while they were both serpents. So, I guess,
wow, Zeus. Classy. Classy guy.
What happened? He did what to his mom? He raped his mom.
What a gentleman.
As a snake, though.
As a snake, yeah.
She turned into a snake. He turned into a snake.
Rape.
You can't put human sexual politics onto snake sex. I'll tell you that right now.
They're not actually. Oh my god. Oh, Paul, your technicality doesn't work here.
Oh, I
Why is he defending Zeus? What?
Yeah.
So basically, his dumbass mom attempting to avoid the inevitable actually facilitated it, because at that point he's like, well, if you're a snake, there's no law against a snake raping a snake, you know what I mean? There's no way to establish snake consent,
Snake consent.
So from this union was born Persephone, And after giving birth, Rhea became Demeter. Essentially, Rhea became her own daughter, which is pretty confusing. But hey, Christianity has that same kind of shit where people are their own parents and shit.
True.
Like, wait, what? Huh? All right. So Persephone was born so deformed that Demeter ran away frightened and refused to breastfeed her. But Persephone grew out of her deformity, as often happens,
Oh yeah, that's totally a very normal natural biological process. Where if you have a deformity that's physical, you just naturally grow out of it. You'll grow out of it, kid. Don't worry about it.
Beautiful woman. In fact, she was so beautiful, every male god wanted her, even her father. Zeus would watch his daughter from afar.
Oh my God, Zeus!
Her spinning wheel. So Zeus is like, not only did he fuck his mom, but now he wants to fuck the daughter that was produced by that incestuous relationship.
Okay, what Greek motherfucker, what drugs and what kinks was he into that created for him to be like, yeah, Zeus, bro, let's create this guy a part of our pantheon of gods and shit.
On his incest.
So Zeus had the Oedipus complex, and he's hoping, I guess, his daughter feels the same way.
You're like, oh, fucked my mom, and oh my God, look at the baby. Oh my God, she's getting hot.
Oh my God, Zeus.
At first she was all deformed, but when she grew out of that shit, she was hot. So Zeus is like, I'm gonna fuck my daughter now. So one day Persephone went to a nearby stream to wash some sweat off her body. Zeus washed her undressed, and she was splashing around in the water, and he was like, I just can't control myself anymore. So he...
Did you know that's how Bundy got his name? It was more of a deformity. It was corrected over time. Ancient Greek science. Ancient Greek science.
Gonna take the form of a dragon, basically. See?
Why not? Why not?
Oh, damn, Zeus becoming a dragon? Damn, so he's this furry who's a scaly, bro. Dude, Zeus is a scaly. There's a subgroup of furries who are basically, about, reptilians, dragons, stuff like that. And they're basically just scalies. That's essentially what they're called. They're still furries, but, because they're more about reptilians, and usually they're, furry personas are, some form of a reptile, whether it's a dragon. Usually, the common one is a dragon of some sort, or a lizard of some sort. But either way, it's Zeus is just, basically the equivalent of of a scaly in the furry world. He's just yeah, I'm all about them scalies, bro. I like dragons, snakes, serpents, lizards. Oh, yeah, give it to me, baby.
Snake thing worked last time.
Yeah, dude, he's a precursor of the bad dragon.
Now I'm Dracon.
I'm starting to see fucking Zeus's game here. It's man, it would be real fucking weird if I raped my own fucking family, but snakes.
But what if a snake
dude? Zeus is
what if a
Zeus
snake
was the first otherkin, dude? Except he could actually do it.
Yeah,
that's a difference there. I mean, there's people wish they could be a fox or whatever. Zeus can just assume whatever form. It's I'm gonna fuck the dragon.
Basically, just take your average.
I mean, I wouldn't wish I would be a husky, but having at least the whole nanobot, futuristic, technology where you could have different augmentations, so being a furry could be an actual thing that a human could do. It's I want that. I mean, is that I don't think that's otherkin, but is that I mean, is it close? Not that I want to actually be affiliated with them, because I don't literally want to be a husky. That's I see how Zeus lives, and honestly, that I mean, I guess he's in goofy, ignorant bliss of sweetness and adorableness, but still, it's just I value the sentience and intelligence, at least.
Porn addicted furry, and just give them the powers of a god.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what?
Degenerate porn.
Shit, hold on.
He's a dragon.
Basically, just take your average,
here we go,
degenerate, porn addicted furry, and just give them the powers of a god.
Okay, I'm feeling targeted right now.
And you got Zeus.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
TJ, I feel targeted.
Learning about Zeus so far.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Zeus is basically just a porn addicted degenerate furry.
Draken used a sleep spell, put Persephone to sleep, fucked her while she was asleep, basically.
Wow. Stay classy, Zeus.
So Persephone would then give birth to Zagreus,
Zagreus.
A boy born with horns of a draken that was so powerful he could shoot thunderbolts from his fingers as an infant.
Dude,
That's
Palpatine
shit going on.
Dude, Palpatine shit.
Zeus then immediately took the child to Mount Olympus. He wanted to make sure Zagreus was on his good side, because he's like, this kid's really super powerful. I don't want this motherfucker growing up like, I hate Zeus, he abandoned me, you know? So Zeus is like thinking way ahead, like, nah, make sure this kid's on my side, right?
Yeah, that's some like 3-4 levels ahead planning.
I know, because he sees this kid shooting lightning bolts out of his fingers and shit, and he's like, this motherfucker better grow up liking me.
Yeah.
I don't need no challenger.
I need some loyalty out of this one.
Or nothing. So he sat the child on the throne, internally planned to raise the child as a like bodyguard type of figure. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna keep him close to me. He's gonna be like my bodyguard. He's gonna defend me and shit.
Sounds like a vibe. Sounds like some good shit, honestly, for, being his kid and being like, yeah, you get to be, trained in some, like, military action stuff, and I'll keep close to me and, protect me and all above. Yeah, it's like, all right, sounds like a plan, but at the same time, sounds like you're getting him close, to usurp you, especially if he knows how to fucking fight. Like,
Who was the fucking wife of Zeus here. Obviously, this is a more contemporary fucking artist rendition, not like some ancient shit.
What? Wait. You're telling me that this didn't come straight from fucking ancient Greece?
I am telling you that, yes.
Or ancient Rome or whatever the fuck we're talking about here?
Greece,
yeah.
bro.
Greece,
in Rome,
dude.
In Rome, he was...
Wow. You unenlightened American pleb.
It's Jupiter?
Jupiter, yeah. Jupiter was the Roman version.
But basically the same fucking story.
Don't fuck a bandit, dude.
Yeah,
Bandit got a good swipe out of him.
So Zeus, had this wife named Hera, right? And you probably know if you ever watched an episode of Hercules: The Legendary Journeys that Hera's kind of a fucking bitch, okay? And she knew Zeus cheated on her, like, pretty much on the daily.
Well, I mean, can you blame Hera for being vindictive, though? Look at her husband. He's out raping his own family and shit.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, what a weirdo.
But she doesn't care.
Fucking degenerate son of a bitch, like it's Theseus fucking freakazoid, just like, I need to fuck my entire family. And, it's like, yeah, obviously I'd be like, what the fuck, yo?
I can't believe my fucking piece of shit husband's cheating on me with every fucking buddy in the goddamn kingdom. She wants Zeus's cock, but like she's the one fucking pussy. Zeus is like, I've been there, I've done that,
Look,
whatever.
I've seen it. It's Hera, baby, it's good, but Zeus needs to run around and play.
Zeus need a little, steak is a good dinner, baby, but like steak every night, it's too much, Your pussy's a steak, but sometimes I need a cheeseburger, baby.
Sometimes I need a little fast food, greasy cheeseburger every now and then. You're like a nice, fine steakhouse, 18-ounce sirloin, baby. Can only have you so much.
Something else. Sometimes I need to turn into a snake and, fuck my relatives. I don't know. It's like what I do.
What a disgusting freak he is.
What a son of a bitch.
So, anyway, she was pissed when she saw Zagreus on the throne. She's looking at that shit like, I didn't give no birth to no motherfucker named Zagreus. What this motherfucker doing on my throne?
Uh-oh.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-oh.
Nuh-uh, bitch.
Uh-oh.
So, because she's got her own kids with Zeus, who, I'm
assuming they're also incest babies, because isn't like Hera like Zeus's sister or some shit?
Zagreus was more powerful than her kids, but she's not seeing that picture, right? She don't care about that shit. She don't care about this like Zeus's like
Bob the Fifth,
my side, like the logic behind it. She's just like, that ain't my kid. Ain't gonna be no fucking motherfucking incest baby sitting on my throne. Fuck that shit.
Not my incest baby.
Zeus, he's fucking out there doing shit, and Hera's, she's at home with the palace and shit. So, one day while Zeus was away, Hera decided to let some of the Titans in the fucking throne room, which I guess it's a big ass throne room, because Titans supposed to be huge, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, where they tricked the fuck.
Well, they're Titans, duh.
Tricked the baby, and they basically just ripped the baby apart. Zagreus,
Damn. Like Post-birth abortion going on right there. Damn, that don't sound pro-life like a lot of these, white nationalist types being like, oh, I go to be named West. Like, well, guess what? Like, Titans literally rip babies apart in your fucking, like, you know, shit you venerate, you weirdo. Bandit.
Sent some Titans in to murder him, basically, right?
Whoa, damn.
She was like,
Getting
no,
bandit.
not happening. Not on my watch. So she kills the baby. Not directly. Get some Titans in there. Like, oh, Zeus, something terrible happened. The Titans came and they killed the baby. Oh, no. So Zeus took that shit to heart. He fucking, sorry, I got ahead of myself there. Yeah, they tore the baby to pieces. After the Titans left, Athena collected the heart of Zagreus, turned it to his father, like, hey, your baby's dead, here's his heart. You know, this is why not.
That's fucked, dude. You want your baby's heart?
So
Have
Zeus
the heart
took
of your
the heart,
baby.
turned it into a magic potion, and traveled to Earth. He gave the magic potion.
Well, it looks like he took it pretty easily. It's like, oh, well, looks like the son of my son's heart is here. Oh well, I'll turn it into a magic potion. How about that? That sounds good.
Princess named Semele. The potion made Semele pregnant, and she later gave birth to Dionysus, the god of fertility and wine. So I guess you could say Dionysus is kind of like a reincarnation of Zagreus.
Well, remember when you die in Greek mythology, you go to the underworld. So Zagreus went to the fucking underworld.
Yeah, he did actually.
Yeah. And wasn't he
At least
like
he would.
raised by Hades?
Yeah, that's actually true. So Zagreus was born. Yeah, he went to the underworld. He was just as powerful there. Hades saw this shit and was like, "Hey, you know, you want to be my son?"
There's actually a really
Wanna
cool
be my
video
guy?
game called Hades where you play as Zagreus, and
cool.
It's a neat game. But yeah, that's the reason I know that, not because I read books.
Dionysus is more based in Zagreus.
I was impressed. Like,
Yeah.
Paul knows a lot about Greek mythology.
Well,
He's like,
that's the big reveal at the end of the game. It kind of tells the tale in reverse. Is like you're Zagreus and you think your dad is Hades, and you continuously like have to fight him over and over again, and he won't tell you the secret. And then at the end, he tells you like, I adopted you. Your real dad is Zeus.
Oh fuck!
Damn.
What a twist!
What a twist!
What a twist!
So twisty. So
twisty, gotta get swifty.
Going back to Hera. So why did she hate her husband so much? I mean, it's pretty obvious. He fucking, fucked around everybody.
He's a philanderer, dude. He fucks whoever he can.
You know, and
He's a
maybe
fuck machine.
she doesn't like the incest thing, right? Well, probably she's okay with it because Hera was not only the wife of Zeus but also his sister.
It looks like
Knew
it's
it,
about
yeah.
to lean in for that motorboat.
It never done it.
Would you like a Thunder God motorboat?
So Hera's his sister and his wife. So pretty much everyone Zeus fucks so far has been a relative. Zeus is
Oh my God.
likes to keep it all in the family. That's like
Gotta keep it in the family.
But Hera, the pussy game is on point. How am I supposed to resist?
I love him, dude. Zeus
Wow.
is such an irascible little rogue.
What a psycho.
So basically,
Psycho Zeus, dude.
The way he got Hera in the first place is also kind of like typical Zeus fashion, right? So Zeus transformed himself into a little cuckoo bird.
Oh, so he's
pretending to be injured, right?
Oh.
You know, broken wing or whatever the fuck, right? And Hera sees this bird. Oh, that poor bird, you know. And she's like, I want to help that little birdie, right? And she proceeded to bring the bird close to her, you know, bring it into her quarters or whatever the fuck. Whereupon Zeus turns back into himself and he's like, surprise, bitch!
Oh no.
Sure. So,
damn,
you know.
Damn, bro.
Blooded.
That is
I know, right?
some sociopath shit.
Gotta be some way to get in that bitch's bed.
I wonder, if Yahweh took a little bit of, hint some of that type of shit, at least especially in Mormonism. At least in like Mormon mythology too. Like, ooh.
I know. I'll turn into a little bird.
I'll just kind of walk up to you and as God and be like, hey, what's up? I'm gonna fuck you now.
Not only is Zeus fucked up, but he gets off on like the surprise rape stuff. I mean, like,
boom, rape, bitch.
Surprise Zeus rape,
the way
boom.
Here, it's like he's Zeus. Do you figure he
Like,
could
what
get
the
Hera
fuck?
if he really wanted her? Just like, hey, I'm Zeus.
I don't think incest was any, like, I think it was still pretty taboo even then, but Zeus is just Zeus, so he can do what he wants, so it's just like, want to rape my sister,
yeah,
rape my sister.
If Zeus can
Damn
do it, who
Zeus.
can?
It was taboo because it was supposed to be the purview of the gods to keep their bloodlines pure and shit. The humans weren't supposed to dabble in that shit.
Well, we did anyway.
So,
look at the royal
basically,
family.
Hera, after this is like totally like, oh my god, I can't believe this happened. Blah blah blah. Got fucked by my brother. And so out of shame, she agrees to marry Zeus. He continued to rape and seduce women throughout his marriage to Hera, even though she remained faithful to him.
Damn.
The once kind Hera became bitter and sought out her husband's victims and lovers to torment them. So basically, you know, she's like, I fell for this like cute little birdie bullshit, and what did that get me? You know, so
what did that get me? So I'm gonna fuck with all of you now.
And she's trying to fuck
even though my husband's the one fucking making you all victims.
And now I don't know, she's got like this weird thing where she's like wants Zeus kinda and doesn't want him fucking anybody else. You know, I don't know. It gets pretty weird there. So anyway, moving on to this swan shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, what is even going on there?
Classic work of art.
Is that is that like a fat ass swan literally just like
this, you know,
fucking somebody
600 years ago or something?
What's going on?
I'm pretty sure if I'm not mistaken, is this 15th century? Yeah, this looks like 16th, early 16th, late 15th century. Is this a Gandolfini?
What?
What? What?
No, it's
yeah, it's a Gandolfini.
That's you're just fucking throwing Sopranos reference.
Oh my god.
Ain't no goddamn Gandolfini. What are you talking about? You crazy?
Dude, the great fucking artist Gandolfini painted this, TJ. You're fucking like your research sucks, man.
Damn.
You don't know a Gandolfini when you
just get shut down, bro.
So one
you
night,
don't know a fucking Gandolfini from a De Niro, TJ.
I guess.
Are these even real art, like painters?
Didn't pick them out.
I think he's just fucking
one
with
night, Tynadirius, king of Sparta, whatever. He was.
What the fuck?
He was fucking his wife, right? He was laying down. He was laying with his wife, having sex. Her name's Leda. So anyway, Zeus. He's watching. He's like, damn.
Damn. Look at this human.
Everything else. Zeus is a fucking
these humans are getting good.
He's a voyeur. Yeah, he likes to watch. Right. So you know, he's always on the prowl for some new mortal bitch to fucking.
So even
and he happens to.
Man, so even in like for mortals, he has to like be a peepaton and be like, damn, look at the mortals.
I mean, he probably pays special attention to the kings,
So,
figuring
baby.
like they probably are attracting the highest caliber shit in like their respective lands, right?
Sure, you would imagine, yeah.
Right. So I mean, like Zeus is checking it out, and he sees like, man, they're making some fucking.
I think Zukov, because he also will partially respond to Zeus. I think he's really continuously like harassing me right now because he keeps hearing his name, like, or at least his secondary name. Yes, baby. We're not actually talking about you.
Good loving going on in there. I want me some of that. So, Zeus, after the king fell asleep, Leda decides she's going to go out for an evening walk, right? She's like, oh, yeah, good fucking, I want some cool, air to, cool my body down after all that fucking hot sexing up, right? What? What's Paul? Why are you shaking your head, Paul?
Because that's when Zeus... You don't go fucking. That's when Zeus fucking likes to transform and go out there and look. And if you're the highest class piece in the entire world,
especially in the kingdom,
guards around you and shit.
Yeah,
poking away.
You gotta have the Secret Service. You know what I mean?
Because by now,
hit up America, be like, yo, I need some of your Secret Service.
But he's
Top
Zeus,
agents.
Man. Those guards will fall asleep. That's not gonna matter. It's Zeus. He's gonna get what he wants.
So, this is what a swan's penis looks like, by the way.
Oh my god! Why? What?
Yeah, it's like a very weird, like, little corkscrew thing.
Yeah, like ducks and swans and shit, they have wieners like this because they rape so much.
Yeah.
And so,
well, what the fuck?
The duck...
Makes sense that Zeus would transform into one.
Like a bunch of dead ends and shit, so they gotta have this weird, squiggly penis that can find its way through that.
So, I mean, it checks out. So, Zeus becoming a swan does check out.
Yeah.
Can I help you?
Yeah. Good choice for an animal for Zeus.
Yes.
Yes.
So, he turns into a swan, rapes her, I don't know why he needed to be a swan. I think he likes it. You know, he likes being animals and stuff.
I mean, yeah, he probably used it to get her to approach. Oh,
Dude.
what a beautiful swan!
Fucking Zeus loves being an otherkin.
Look at him. He's putting that freaking his little wing right around her butt and stuff.
It's like,
Look at
oh,
that.
yeah, baby.
Look at that O face. Jeez. That's
Oh my god.
That's one happy fucking swan. Right
Dude, that swan is
She's
like...
looking over here.
I don't know whoever painted that, but man, they made sure that swan was very happy.
Like weird
What the fuck?
babies. Like, but she's not horrified like a normal person would be. She's like, aw.
Oh my god, egg babies? Dude, what the fuck? Egg babies?
Nightmare egg babies.
Oh, Zeus,
Oh, so cute, little egg babies.
Thanks,
Little
Zeus.
xenomorph eggs.
So she
Aw.
would proceed to lay some eggs, I guess immediately.
Oh
Just
god.
like, Zeus fucked you and then you lay eggs. And by the way, look how big these fucking eggs are. I mean, like...
Oh my
she would
god.
Be like, chill right
Oh,
now. We're just like, oh yeah, I'm good.
I'm all good. I just laid 4 insane eggs.
Zeus can do it.
It was like, yeah, magic.
Magic, you're fine.
Anyway, out of these eggs came 4 children. Helen, Clytum. Man, this is one thing I hate about mythology. They always introduce a new characters all over the place, just making it way more convoluted than it needs to be. Anyway, Helen, Clementenestra. I probably butchered that.
Oh my god, what?
Pollux. Pollux and Helen were children of Zeus, while Castor and Clement. Okay, I'm gonna figure this out.
Oh my god.
Clytemnestra.
Clytemnestra?
Jesus.
Oh my
Were the
god.
children of Tynadarius. What? Okay, I'm so confused. The story is whatever. It's a convoluted mess. It says it's
Oh my
in a
god.
document, it's short and simple, but it ain't. What's with all these damn kids?
Oh my
now?
god, dude. Fucking Greek mythology, it just, wow, it sounds even way more convoluted than things like Norse mythology, because I at least know a little bit of a rundown about that, and it's not even as fucking remotely as convoluted in this shit. What were the Greeks smoking? Like, what were they about? Like, what the fuck? What is this shit? It's like, legit, it's like, even I'm starting to get a little lost. Like, oh my god.
Other guys.
It's just
like,
confusing.
What?
That's
Then
the
why
thing
were they
with
born
this.
without eggs? That don't make no sense.
It's his fault, though, because, like, when you start fucking making people their own daughters and shit, you just open up the world to, like, a whole horrible paradox where somebody is your son but isn't, because he's his own father, but...
Oh my god.
It gets crazy. It gets all mixed up.
But this story has inspired many paintings. It's probably because, like, even in the day, like, Leonardo da Vinci has painted this, Michelangelo, Caravaggio, and as you said, Gandolfini and De Niro, of course, have painted this scene
Okay, so I guess Paul wasn't bullshitting.
times.
The great,
but I think it's because
the great Pacino painted this one, but you wouldn't know that. He did.
yeah, I'm an idiot when it comes to these arts and stuff.
yes.
I have no idea.
No culture.
Not at all.
It's pathetic.
Pleb.
But no,
Yes.
I mean, like, this scene inspired a lot of those artists, probably because if they came up with some of this shit on their own and painted it, it'd be like, oh, blasphemy or whatever. But if it's like, oh, it's from Greek myth, then it's refined, artistic.
That was a big thing in the Renaissance, wasn't it? Like, going back to antiquity and, like, kind of reviving these kind of works.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure, 100%. And it's because it has such salacious subject matter. So, like, if you're a painter, obviously, if you have the ability to paint, you want to paint ass and titties.
Oh, of
but
course.
you can't just sit around painting that shit because that's pornography.
Oh.
But if it's like...
And that would be a taboo.
Ancient myth or whatever.
Can't have that in
then
society.
it's like, oh, yeah, now this is all good.
Destruction of
like,
society.
lying with his 2 daughters, like we saw in the Louvre.
Yeah.
Like, like, this is from the 16th century or whatever. You're like, oh.
Well, it's from the Bible, so it's okay.
The way to put it to people is if you go to a museum, you see a bunch of Christian paintings. It was like, that was like popular. It's like a bunch of videos made about Ukraine now. It's like, that was a subject matter that would get people interested. And they were interested in that shit back
This painting is sure to get clicks.
Pretty much, or eyeballs, or patrons.
Whatever you want. One last one. This one's called the golden shower.
Oh boy.
Golden shower, huh?
Oh, Zeus!
Oh.
Zeus! We should have known.
By the
Wow.
way, before you get into it, I was gonna.
Man, he is like ridiculously that much of a kinkster, is he? Wow.
This is a machio, but it's not. It's actually a tomei.
A tomei.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Oh wow.
Often like a student of machio.
Is that from the from around the Vinny period, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Just right in the Vinny.
Yes, quite, yes.
So anyway, this is not there's no it's not a golden shower in the sense of it like being piss or whatever.
Oh, what?
So sorry, Scotty. I know you were looking forward to
kinky ass Zeus.
I was hoping the story was like she went into the sunroom every day and Zeus just like stood on top of it and took a leak,
Yeah.
Damn.
Unfortunately not. I'm sorry.
Poor Zeus.
This is
not as kinky as we thought.
Dana? Danae?
Not as degenerate as we thought he was.
Dana just because it's easier for me to remember, but it's probably Danae. Dana was a princess of Argos. Her beauty was well known throughout the land. Her father, King Acrisius, was worried about not having an heir, as his only child was Dana, and of course, women are pieces of shit.
Is this like Clash of the Titans we're about to get into?
Yeah, especially in Greek society, they definitely weren't exactly positive about women.
They have similar.
Very essentially not even treated really as people.
So the king is like went to an oracle and he's like, yeah, give me fucking give me some news. And she's like, oh, I got some good news and bad news. And which one you want first? I'll take the good news. So the good news was that one day Dana's going to bear a son that's going to be his heir. The bad news is that son's going to kill him. So it's like, oh my god, what the fuck?
It's like, damn.
Win. So wait, I'm gonna get an heir, but the heir is gonna fucking murder me? Like, what the fuck? Ugh. So he hears this revelation, he's just like, hell no. Hell no.
Yeah, I'm about to have a son who's gonna try to kill me? Hell no, fuck that shit.
Made of bronze, with only one door, guarded by his most loyal men, right? He placed Dana in this tower, with all the comforts that she could want, but forbid her to ever leave. Because he's like, I am not letting this prophecy happen because I refuse to ever die. So anyway, from Mount Olympus, of course, fucking Zeus hears about this fucking hot ass maiden locked in a tower somewhere.
Whipped his dick out, pissed off the cloud, and hit her right in the face with it, right?
Basically. I'm assuming so, right?
Yeah. And she was like, oh, I'm so dirty. And he's like, yes, that's right. Take
that. I am Zeus. My piss seed will incinerate you.
You could interpret it that way for sure. Like, it's definitely up there for interpretation because what basically happens is Zeus arrives on Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
He sees
Sounds reasonable.
He sees the tower. He sees how guarded it is. He don't give a fuck about that.
It's Zeus, or whatever. It's nothing to him.
But Zeus is not going to go in guns a-blazing because that's not his style. Zeus likes to be a little bit of a sneaky boy, right? So he decides he's going to.
He likes to surprise fuck people.
Rain cloud. So he flew right past the guards, which I guess they're just like, sentient rain cloud. Who cares?
Sentient rain cloud. Okay.
Guards.
This is nothing but a fog. Don't worry about this.
Say nothing about no rain clouds, right?
Go ahead.
So, he goes up in there, and he proceeds to have sex with her by raining down upon her.
Mm-hmm.
And, and it's said in the myth, like, oh, the rain was like beautiful golden rain. So, I mean, you could definitely consider that piss, right?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
A beautiful rendition of this by the great old Master Pesci.
The Master Pesci.
I always forget about Pesci,
Mm-hmm. You shouldn't. I mean, like, absolutely.
Yeah, you can never forget about Pesci.
No. You can't sleep on Pesci. He's one of the greats. One of the great Renaissance painters.
Yep.
So anyway, I guess there must have been some other stuff mixed in with the rain, though, because Zeus was able to impregnate Dana, as he always does.
Yeah.
Pretty much Zeus Zeus don't miss, you know. Like when Zeus fucks you, you get pregnant. You know, just like you.
I mean, honestly, you get lucky if like Zeus doesn't get you pregnant. If Zeus doesn't get you pregnant, you're lucky.
You're lucky if you just get pregnant. You're lucky. You could be laying 4 eggs or some shit.
Oh my God, seriously.
Or like giving birth to some weird dragon creature. I mean, think about them horns tearing.
Oh God, dude,
you fecundity, and then there's Zeus.
Like if you're immortal and you gave birth to like a part human dragon thing of horns and shit, you just be dead.
I mean, if he
You'd be
walks
murked.
by you on a moist day, you're probably pregnant.
Yeah. So anyway, the Golden Rain, or whatever it was, impregnated Dina. And who would she give birth to Perseus, basically? Who
Perseus
killed his grandfather by accident by striking him in the head with a discus during an athletic competition. So it's not like he wasn't murdered by him. It's just like, you know, he threw the discus.
How the fuck did he kill his grandfather if Zeus is his father? Who the fuck is Zeus's father? Or is he his grandfather on his mother's side?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, that would.
That's why they locked his daughter up.
Got it. Yeah, got it.
Maternal.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I thought that this would be a mini-sode. Maybe this should have been like a full episode, because I basically got to this point and realized that's about 30 minutes worth of shit. And, you know, I'm barely scratched the surface of the fucking pussy Zeus got. So,
oh my God.
If you guys want to know more about the fucking exploits of naughty little goat boy Zeus.
Zeus, you've been naughty.
You're naughty boy, Zeus.
Zeus got up to some stuff, right?
He's been a dirty boy.
Oh my God. I'm just like, honestly, I'm absorbing how much, you know, Zeus's weird degenerative fucklust is. And I'm just like, wow, bro. He's definitely, most indeed, a naughty boy. It's, man, dude, Zeus, what the fuck, bro? Zhukov, what are you doing, buddy? Yeah, I'm actually kind of glad I didn't stick with your name, your old name. Like, your old name, Zeus, definitely is, like, honestly, your older, like, Zhukov's older brother, Vito, honestly deserves the name Zeus more than him. Because Vito's actually kept it more in the family than Zhukov does. Because Zhukov hasn't, you know, done sister fucking like Vito has. Like, Vito's more closer to Zeus than fucking Zhukov. Like, oh my God. Oh, what weird little fucking absurd pooches. Fucking weird degenerate little dog doing weird, like, sibling actions. Like, what the fuck, bro? Not cool, Vito. And Zhukov, what are you doing? What are you doing, ba? What you doing? Come here. What are you doing? What you doing, huh? What you doing? What you doing, sweet boy? Just being a goofball. Oh, I think you is. Seriously, we have that going. Like, he could not close the door. Like, seriously. Like, are you kidding me? Wow. I've just been, like, kind of, like, picking at this grinder for the most duration of this time here, and honestly, I'm getting a lot of random little chunks out of this. Like, a lot of chunks out of it. Pretty much down to a point where I have, like, a little small bowl, like, right here going. I like it. I like that, Holmes. I'll actually probably, get what little bowl I can and load it up on this bad boy and smoke it up and get myself some food and all that fun shit. Okay, finish the last little bit of this, y'all. There's a few more little spots I want to try to kind of nick at. Come on. Yeah, right there, yeah. Zhukov, why do you keep annoying the damn cat? Really? You can't just leave the cat alone for like 1 minute to let him do something? Whatever it is, which I'm assuming is using a litter box. Oh, Zhukov, come on, bro. You already got swiped once by Bandit. Do you never learn? Evidently not. I'm still... Oh my god, that fucking dog, bro. Okay, I'll try to get this last little bit of chunk here, and yeah, right there. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, oh, there we go. Okay. Ah, shit. Alright, that should be good for now. Definitely try to pick more of that later. Gather all around. Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, damn. Once they actually get all piled up, there's a decent fucking amount. Shit. Took off what? Hey. What are you doing? What are you doing, buddy, huh? Don't you even want to know what you're doing? Guarantee you I don't approve of it. Little jerk. Hey! I don't not approve of that. Picking up the goddamn water bowl. What the hell? Hey! Don't even... What are you doing? Oh my god. Okay, well, this dog is being a little psycho mutt. That's always fun. That's always fun to deal with. Here. Here. Hey, Zuka. Come here. Come here. Come here. Baby. Zukov. Come here. Zukov. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. You want... Come on. Come here. Oh my god, you silly baby. You silly baby. Look at her. Oh. Silly little, sweet little pooch. Oh. You're putting your elbow right into my gut. Oh. You little jerk. Oh. Hey. Yes, you'll get a tweet. I'll let you have a tweet. Yeah. Will you grab it? Hey, what the fuck? You didn't even... failed. You have failed, Grasshopper. Fuck. Can't even pick it up. Alright, here we go. Try again, bro. Try again. No, get up. Come on. Dude, you are being pathetic. What, did you forget how to balance yourself? Get up. Come on. Up. 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 Dude. You know you're better than this. Are you fucking... Oh my god. Okay, you really need to actually be trained. Here, come on. Up. No. Up. Get over here. Sit. Stand up. 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 Good boy. Oh my god. Was it that hard? Damn, bro. Damn, bro. Hey. Fuck off. Anyway, get this last little bowl smoked out and call it good for the last little bit of the evening. So. Give myself the food. So, anyway, peace out, of course. I'll see you all at that next one.